So, last session, you continued your journey deeper into the wilds towards this grove of Nezaras, following Banzala's quest. Deja began experiencing harrowing nightmares featuring her husband Varys and twisted reflections of herself, leaving her exhausted and troubled upon waking. Realised these were not mere dreams but likely the result of a powerful dream spell being used against her, she suspected Nezara was targeting her. Seeking answers, Deja performed a scrying spell on the location Banzala had showed her, a towering twisted tree with blood-red thorns. There she observed beneath the umbrella-like thorny roots of a gargantuan tree sprawled over a twisted forest of dead trees and crimson flora. She saw an arched entrance into darkness. Outside the front of it, standing guard, was a horned armoured figure with features reminiscent of Etheria's people, a satyr, though much more pallid in complexion. Before Deja's vision was abruptly cut off by some large unknown shadow. To counter the effects of these nightmares, Deja consulted with Etheria, who identified a couple of rare ingredients needed to craft a potion of vitality, which should cure her exhaustion. Fortunately, Deja had these ingredients, and also, fortunately, Sayun already had a potion of vitality in storage. But regardless, Deja and Sayun are to spend the next day and a bit crafting another one. Meanwhile, Velum and Liska took some time to spar and reflect. Velum opened up about his doubts regarding his faith in Al-Sham and his place in the world, questioning some of the strict laws he was taught. Liska shared her past aspirations and losses, including her rivalry with Kima for a prestigious position, encouraging Velum to focus on shaping his own destiny and not to be burdened by what-ifs. As you continued your journey, the jungle became denser and more foreboding, with signs of unnatural accelerated growth and unusual fungi. Your caravan moved through the narrowing path, with you becoming more aware of rustling in the underbrush, and that's when suddenly two massive plant-like creatures rose from the foliage on either side of the trail, attempting to ambush you. You engaged with the shambling mounds with Liska's fierce combat prowess, Etheria's precise archery, Grunker's raging attacks, Velum's swift strikes, Sayun's fiery spells, Deja's powerful magic, and Vabnia's support. You battled the creatures. They tried to engulf you, but your combined efforts and your use of fire, exploiting their weakness, led to their defeat. After the battle, you harvested various useful components from fallen foes, though some were too damaged to salvage. But aware that the influence of the nightmare is growing stronger as you approach Nezara's domain, you prepared to continue your journey, knowing that greater challenges likely await. So, as I bring you back in, is there anything that you would like to do here specifically before you set back off?
I already did what I need to do. Music's not popping up for some reason. Oh, there it is.
Nothing for me, though.
I think it would be a good idea to try and at least harvest these big boys.
Oh, I think Liska's just done that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Do some harvesting.
Carved up all the beasties.
Etheria's gonna scamper around the tree like 30 feet up and just kind of lean down. Just peer over. Hey, do they have any of those hearts on them? Big green thingies.
Well, it seems like you shot one through the heart. Give me a moment.
Sorry,
Liz is going to open up her character sheet and be like, what did she get? Because I don't remember. It was at the end of last session.
Yeah.
I know I picked one up, but I think I traded almost immediately to Deshar.
Yeah, I think Snake
yeah,
has the hearts.
Yeah, and Snake is not is probably not available at the moment.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go poke her with a stick.
It's a
But
she.
Sal
That's
will
what
enter.
I got. Yeah, I got a. But no hearts. At least not for me.
Sal will just
Alright.
raise her arm and just point towards the wagon. I picked up one from this guy, and I handed it to Dejar. He tends
Ooh.
to know better what they do.
Was it green or purple?
Green.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. When they're green, they're still, normal,
Untainted.
not corrupted. Yeah. Once they turn all purple and extra thorny is when you kind of not want to do anything with them.
Do we want to like destroy them or something? If that's the case.
Not the green ones.
No,
The
I'm
green
talking about
ones
the
are-
purple ones.
In my opinion, yeah. Maybe. I'm trying to find and see if there's a way you can kind of undo that. So I'd appreciate it maybe if you didn't. Fixing curses, restoring the land, that kind of stuff. But if you don't feel comfortable, I can hold on to them. Unless you have something you really want to use them for. Better use them than they rot.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We don't know when or how we're gonna find another one.
You say that,
Alright.
but none of us expected, and she gestures to both the mounds of whatever the fuck these vines are. We didn't expect these to just pop out. So,
Well, you should start expecting a lot more where we're growing. It's
Oh,
gonna
no,
be a grove.
I've seen a lot of different things during my travels here with the group. It's just, you can expect things and then still be surprised.
Alright, that's fair. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where'd Scaly go?
Points
Uh,
She's
to
doing a
maybe the
visible
wagon.
head count.
Sal is just pointing to the wagon.
Alright, as long as everyone's alive. You don't want vines to grab you and pull you underneath the soil. Drowning in dirt is not very fun.
I've been too close to that once, never again.
Fair. Alright. She's gonna do a quick little scan, see if there's any other signs to be wary of before we resume our travel.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception.
With a 10.
Disadvantage.
I don't know why I have disadvantage.
Check your sheet. Maybe it's tracking exhaustion or something.
Well, the first one was a nat 20. And it took the 2 instead.
I don't know why.
I have no exhaustion or anything.
I don't know why you have disadvantage. That's odd.
Is my control key stuck? It sure fucking is.
That would
My
be,
wireless
that'll do it.
keyboard had an item resting on it.
That would be why. So in that case, we'll take a 20 for a total of
28.
28. You scan your keen eyes around the forest, listening for anything else that might seem out of place. With the 28, what you do notice is some of the very, very fine details of the rich overgrowth that has probably been languishing here for a good week or so now. Some of that is slowly beginning to sort of wither and rot away. You gather that
it does seem like it was magical overgrowth.
From
the speed in which it popped up.
It seemed fairly unnatural in its accelerated growth initially, but when you first saw it. From what you gather, this is the influence of these large living plants.
Common thing. Well, that's good. Seems like things will return to some sense of normalcy. Nothing else seems immediately in ambush or up ahead.
Nope.
If I try and scout the path a little bit ahead from what I can see with my vertical vantage on this tree, is there any immediate things for our concern, or is it safe for us to pretty much just resume travel as is?
You kind of hop from branch to branch through the thick, dense canopy of the jungle here. You head around about 50 meters out. Nothing initially seems to catch your attention beyond the general din of the wildlife here in the wilds.
Oh man, she's zooming.
After probably about 7-ish minutes, she'll return to the group, hop down in front of the wagon and begin just gently petting Bastion. It looks fine to proceed. Well, I'm not gonna say there's no dangers, but nothing that's out of place for a dense jungle. Do we need to stop, check an axle or wheel or lick wounds? Are we good to kind of, And she thumbs back down the trail.
You do notice, in fact, with your 28, as you're saying this, looking around, one of the spokes of the wheel has suffered quite a severe crack through it.
Actually, yeah. No, we shouldn't. You remember when it grabbed the vehicle with the big vines? Look, that's not even a crack. That's a splinter right through. You might want to replace that, or if you have magic, see if you can maybe mend it. I would just give the whole wagon a once over. It's probably going to get a lot more rough as the train goes on from here, so...
What time of day is it?
It is mid-afternoon.
Is the clock accurate?
Yep, should be.
Okay. Have we stopped for lunch yet?
Would you like to?
I mean, if we hadn't already, that was going to be my next proposition.
We have 2 formerly living salads.
I was just thinking about that, dude.
Well, it's about our time of day anyway, so we could probably stop for lunch and see about patching some things up.
I can try and do some mending where I can. Otherwise, yeah, we might need to find a way to fix the wheel.
I can search for some replacement wood for the spoke. If you'd like. There's some of that leftover, pine. It's pretty flexible, but not super, springy. It might not be the strongest, but wood's on standby with that.
Well, we'll see how far the damage is before we commit to anything.
Right.
He'll sort of hop back off the wagon.
Did out of character question? Did Sao? You haven't used your all-purpose tools yet today, have you? Like to get a cantrip or anything? As I can say, because you can get the mending cantrip.
I already have the mending cantrip.
Oh, okay then. Never mind. The way you were saying it made it seem like you didn't.
I am an artificer. If you don't pick the mending cantrip as one of your first ones, what the fuck are you doing?
Now you understand my confusion.
Fair.
Alright, so I guess we're stopping for lunch and doing some repairs.
Alright then, you kind of pull up to the side of the road a bit, making sure not to making sure not to make that crack any worse than it is. But I mean,
I'll say this: we're like Liska will like squat down, get her hands underneath the back corner of the cart, and lift it so just that wheel comes off the ground.
oh, there you go then.
And that way, that Vellum can drive it to a place slightly off road.
Sure.
Okay, if only there wasn't the Brunk's neck in the back, it wouldn't be as heavy.
If only
I
we
don't
didn't
think it's
have a
very heavy
fucking
for
lush.
Liska.
That's also true. She a big bitch.
I'm just gonna say, like, Liska's pretty, you know. I don't want to, you know, itemize her just to being a fucking forklift. But if we ever needed a forklift,
We have
she
one.
kind of fills the role. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what sucks right now? If I had one more level out of an access to fabricate.
I mean, you're fairly intelligent, Sagan. This repair, it looks easy enough to do with a mending cantrip.
Sweet.
In fact, it's kind of giving the whole wagon a once-over.
Time.
A lot of these sort of bumps, bruises, dents that you've been experiencing.
Prince.
Yeah, while you've been on the rougher parts of the road, a lot of these could simply be mended with a cantrip.
Takes
Nothing's
a minute to cast it.
yeah. There's nothing too severe. No missing components.
So while she's working on that, Vellum is going to take a look at more the wheels than anything, because they're the most vulnerable part of this whole thing. And see if there's anything that can be done to shore them up in some way, or at least make them a bit sturdier.
Okay.
I don't expect to do it in the time of lunch, but like at least analyzing, taking a look, and seeing if something can be done in the first place is what he's going to work on.
Sure. Just go ahead and make me an intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier.
Intelligence with proficiency. It took me a second to find my proficiency. That's a 4. That's a 5.
Oh
sorry.
dear.
At least it wasn't a natural one.
So
that's
this
been
is
quite
this
natural.
is kind of looking into what more you could do to shore up the integrity of this thing.
I'm not a carpenter.
No. Best you can tell, yeah, I mean, looks like Sagan's got it covered.
Well, good it's gonna be, I guess.
Sent you a DM general.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I was lost in thought.
He's doing he's doing a big think.
Big thought.
I'm mostly just
Well,
looking at
smart.
my spells.
I was looking at my materials. And I'm getting hyped again because I remembered what I have next on the docket.
Indeed.
I'm trying to wait patiently.
I mean, you're the one who decided to become an alcoholic.
So
It was happening.
So Sayan sort of making her way around the cart, seeing what dents and scrapes she can mend. If Liska, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Having lunch.
All right.
Lunch seemed good. Trying to think if there's anything else. Hey, fuck it. I'll take the bait. I'll go see what Dejar is doing. Oh, I'm trapped under Liska. Well, never mind. You get stuck under Liska, there goes your whole day plans.
One of the classic blunders.
I went near her.
You fool.
Getting a
Sounds
land
good.
war with Russia.
Anyway, Velen's he's gonna quietly open the door because you don't know why Dejar went in there. Maybe she wanted a nap or something, but step on in.
You see, Dejar's in the midst of downing a small flask of something.
Vodka.
Okay.
Drinking in front of the child.
He
You're
is
setting
too
a
tired.
great. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make that an in-character statement. Great example you're setting for your student, eh?
Slowly looks. Eyes just slowly blinking. I hadn't had rest for 2 days. Cut me some slack.
And so you're gonna kill your liver?
I'm a Naga. This is not killing my liver.
Enough of the strong stuff will do it.
Right now I need something to actually, so I can take a nap. I am exhausted.
Well, we stopped for lunch, so I don't know if you want to grab some food before you try passing out or what, but you got some time.
She's slowly leaning. I really just want to take a nap right now.
Alright, come on, into bed with you. It was just like you usher a drunk person about. Into bed with you, covers over.
You can all feel free to take a short rest.
I just love still Zerth and Angus helping out.
As always, dude. It's the memory of friendship. It never fades.
Power of friendship.
I guess I get to roll mine, I guess? I don't know.
It's a short rest. You can take a short rest.
Use an extra.
I don't think I used any.
Yeah, I'm gonna use an
resources.
extra hit dice just because I think.
Just because.
Just because.
I'm just gonna mark one down. Because as fun as it is to imagine, just imagining Zerth gets you gives you Song of Rest.
Mm-hmm.
Not the case.
Yeah.
Dejar, as you're kind of briefly drifting off to a light slumber, go on and give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yerp.
I was just like, alright, Vladimir, when you're older, alcohol doesn't solve everything, okay?
At 20.
Okay. Is she okay?
She'll be fine, just a long couple of days. Just tuck her in.
Etherea's head is gonna peek through the sun vent. Well, the roof hole here.
Yep.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that at all.
A little bit of alcohol is fine for merriment, but not as a solution to problems.
Unless it's wounds on the body, not the heart.
Well, that's different though, you don't drink that stuff.
Fair. Are you having lunch?
About to. I was just getting this snake into bed.
Right. Do you want me to hunt anything special for you? He kind of looks between you and the girl.
We'll wait for Vladimir to see. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the roll. I was just gonna do an offhanded comment. I didn't think it'd become a whole theme.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's not a thing. Just ending on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can end on that.
Okay. All right. So as you'll finish up your about an hour's worth of a short stop here. You manage to get the wagon fully repaired. You kind of once again leash up Bastion to the front rungs and begin to make your way off once more onto the road.
Oh.
What?
What about Dejar's wisdom save?
That 20.
Eh.
Man. Feel like nothing happened. Man.
Come on. I'm sure it's fine.
If it isn't,
Only time will
it
tell.
doesn't get any better.
I mean, that is a 20. Is the maximum she could roll. If things aren't fine, then we've got bigger problems.
You continue onto the road for the next few hours.
Gonna leave Dejar sleeping back there and try not to drive too bumpily.
Yeah, it's about an hour's worth for a short rest. So after an hour, you eventually find yourself coming back to consciousness.
Oh, a small energy boost is good enough. And not to have any sleep at all.
We've all had those moments where you just want to lay in bed even though you're not asleep.
You're...
Oh god, we're dragging the plant corpses with us.
Man,
Oh,
I was
no.
gonna say, look at Clubby doing the moonwalk.
Yeah. Island on him.
Man, he is cool.
They're
If
just...
Clubby got a crack in his shell, would you mending, or does it count as an alive material even though it's bone-ish type stuff?
It's a part of a creature. You can't mend a
Dang.
creature.
No, you need to heal the creature.
Right.
Much crack.
Eventually, you are able to find a place to stop for the evening. I'll go ahead and drag you over to the camp map, shall I? Hang on, let me preload that scene.
Okay, so as soon as they get to the camps, Jared's going to ask Sal something.
Hmm?
Why did you say you were proud of me earlier, before all the interesting event happened?
Before we got ambushed by literal bushes.
Yeah.
Ambushed.
He just stopped for a minute. Were you trying to make a joke there, or was just, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I don't have any.
There's just a grin. But to answer your question, it's kind of been dawning me on lately that the way I view the world and the way I view people is perhaps a little different. Everything for me is in a state of change. every little small thing, every little experience, but sometimes it takes the perspective of someone else to see how hard it is for someone else to change willingly, to make an effort into changing. So I wanted to acknowledge it in you.
You're just sits there looking at Sal for a minute. Isn't it a trick?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can do tricks for you, but that mostly amounts to, well, I don't know, doing this. And she pulls out a small gear, and then she kind of flicks it with the other hand, and then it starts glowing. This is about it.
No, it's... Even though I've been around all of you for quite some time, it's still... I'll be honest, it still feels a little unnerving. Feel kindness in return.
I know how that feels, but it takes two to trust.
Be honest, was there something about me that was untrustworthy?
You can tell by the way Sal's face just sort of, it doesn't scrunch up, but there's like light purse to her lips, and she just looks over the Shar and then just... You're an Alshamic worshipper of the sun, and your main speciality is, from my cultural view, the darkest of magical arts. Trusting you was a decision I made in good faith. But it was not one I made easily.
You know, I didn't want this.
I'm pretty sure you didn't, but circumstances of life.
True, but yeah, you might get sick of me saying this too many times anyway, but I'll put it a different way. You know I'm not sure if you heard this phrase before, sins of the father carry on to the child type of thing. Heard that phrase before?
I've heard something similar back home a few times.
Well, would you guess it to yourself? That's true in more sense than I would like it to be.
And I would like to counter a little thing, if I may.
Go right ahead.
It is a father's job to be the giant upon which their children should stand on their shoulder.
Oh, if he heard you say that. Oh,
I say this quite in an ironic manner given my father, but...
was
I may not have had a father like yours, but trust me, I can make the leap of logic to understand you.
It's there's a look on her face where she's like she's thinking on how to word this. It's going to take a little bit more than a leap.
I will pick your word on that, but just know. If you want to talk, you know where to find me.
Probably a little bit later on tonight. I just
Gather your head, sober up a little. I don't mean to be rude, but I can kind of smell it on you.
look. Honestly, this is the first thing I can think of to actually knock myself out.
Trust me, I'm used to Angus. You're not that bad, but it is something I notice.
I'm not bad. He just shakes the empty glass flask. This, okay. Okay, I a little bit. Coffee, just I need to keep a moderate use of coffee because this here I was going in shifting into the symptom of minor narcolepsy. Like I said before, I have it numbered. Don't ask how I have it numbered. Or why.
What I'm thinking you need is a moment away from everything. Which is probably a tall order in current situation, but yeah.
It's not more or less a moment from everything. I just instead of having constant obligations, things that need my attention, I just need a moment of rest. Not to isolate, but just to be.
A moment away from everything is not isolating yourself. It's a moment where you don't have to think. You don't have to do anything. You can just lay down and relax.
Do I seem that stressed out?
A little. She just holds up two fingers and like a little, but you can tell it's like it's meant in the gentle, friendly, mocking way of you look stressed.
You're probably the second person to tell me I need a moment.
I'm versatile in my magic. I'll be real. But given how close you and Ida were, I am sure she probably has something that can help you.
I probably might. Probably ask my colleague Thule if he has something as well. I'm just as good as I am at my job, sometimes I just he's holding her staff and her dagger. I just want to read a fucking good book and have some tea, not worry about the next day of some magical fucker trying to fuck with me.
No spells you have could ward against that. Anything?
I mean, wait a minute. There is that doom that I was using. I just stopped using it after he points saving our little friend, our big friend here. I was just too tired to cast it again, and just went downhill from there.
Probably a good idea to at least try it. I know I have one spell, Intellect Fortress, I think it's called. That one is usually good for warding the mind, but I'm not sure it wards the mind against that kind of thing.
Well, you need to be conscious while warding the mind with Fortress. With my crystal dome, the one is I never really liked the term tiny hut when using this spell. It is, I mean, sure, it looks like it's all like a tiny hut, but humans and their phrasing's annoying.
Tell me about it.
It wards spells if I'm sleeping in it. I mean, it helped quite a deal when I was in traveling through Targovia in the Commonwealth realms for my hunter's test. It was useful.
Worth a try? No?
What do I have to lose besides my mind, which is which was trying to curl and unravel?
I
Deja,
say the coin flip is very much in your favor.
Yep.
can I ask you to make one more wisdom saving throw?
Oh boy.
Man, the Zara be at you today.
Okay. Alright.
Can I flash of genius that?
Technically, yes.
I'm asking because I am right there. The Shar's obviously dealing with something. So
Since you've been, honestly, I feel since you've been helping her with figuring this out, I would greatly appreciate that.
Okay.
that's a +4 to that as well.
Total of 19. Alright, good to know.
Right. There might be something else, since we tend to be attracting dangerous magic users. She holds up one of her fingers to have almost like a golden claw onto it. I got this off of Mortifax. I haven't used it yet, but considering how the spell was helpful on him over here, she points behind her. It might be useful to you could have one of these as well. I'm not entirely sure how made exactly.
Learning how magic items are made often requires me to disenchant them or destroy them in the process because I have to extract every available information. I can learn from them with identify, but you already can that as well.
Yes, honestly, sometimes I talk about that, and I feel there has to be a way to do it without looking at the item without destroying it.
I thought of that, but that kind of process is far more time consuming than we have time for in most cases.
And being on the move all the time, having to go this there, and yep. When we can get an actual moment to sit down and, I don't know, think, that would be great. Also, I think just before going to bed, I'm going to want to at least try and mix. When we finish this potion, I want to try and later on the next night, maybe thinking about it now, make some more resistance potions, maybe a little extra, since I know Nazar likes attacking the mind, and there's decay and shit. Might as well cover both ends of, psychic and something dealing with death and decay. Did the potion stabilize, by the way, on the journey?
Mostly. Should be done quite soon. That's like the
Good.
worst part about potion making is having to make sure it stabilizes.
Well, when you're in a stable place, you don't have to worry about it. You're constant to move, yeah, that tends to be an issue. I mean, we could find a way, a few points to the cart for it to be a completely smooth ride no matter what terrain we're going in. I don't know. You're the genius with all that. I deal with magic and everything else.
I could probably think of some ideas later on.
Also, I don't know if this would be an idea useful to you. Science. In certain science sessions that I've done, there's an orb that has bent there's a bent-in pipes that you can put over a flame, and it almost like a little suspended top that spins, venting steam. Heard of that? Yes.
I
There's
think I've seen a written demonstration, but not actually seen it myself.
Well, I have thought, since steam is built with heat and of water, what would happen if you put, let's say, a permafrost or a something of essence of frost in one of those things, would it be a reverse steam? Where the ambient air makes steam? The frigid temperatures? Causing it I don't know, more of a more powerful engine than what Angus using? Look, it's just hypotheticals at this point, but it's the same principle.
Maybe? I'll probably make a trial model of that idea. It's a bit of a wild idea, I won't lie, but maybe?
I mean, what is steam than, water turned into vapors? Ice is a solid form of water.
It's the intermediate processes that kind of complicate things.
Like I said, you understand them better than I can. I just understand the magical alchemical reactions. So other than that, my wheelhouse, is that how that saying goes? I don't know.
I've heard the saying being out of the barn, but I think the meaning is sort of the same.
We have something. Look, Trade Tongue, as useful as it is, these sayings, they confuse me quite a lot.
Trust me, I am well aware it is. I am quite sad in a way that I can only speak my native tongue with, and she gestures to the wagon, hinting at Vellum.
Would you mind teaching me Orcish once I've finished learning the current language of Draconic?
I can try. I'm not quite a language teacher. Plus, there is some awkward grammatical rules you have to obey when speaking, but that is me getting ahead of myself. Irregardless, I think you should try and finish up what you have on your plate at the moment.
Yes, like I said, let me finish with that first. Trying to learn 2 languages at once, I probably would mess it up beautifully.
Probably, but at least I'm not going to bite you over it, because I have seen what happens when somebody makes a mistake when speaking as they're trying to learn because they've not been formally trained, and that is a tirade I will not repeat.
He just gives side memories of from home, I take it, huh?
I know I grew up well. I know I grew up perhaps a little more privileged than most, but I still don't get why people can be so mad at people that have it worse over something as she in air quotes and with her fingers, as language.
Oh, people have expectations, even unreal expectations of everyone else. And sometimes that develops into entitlement.
There's expectation, and then there's being an asshole about it.
To some people, it's the same, one and the same. Everyone else, you know already, so.
Well, that is something we can discuss later, because that is an entire topic on its own.
Yeah. He just she just gives a sigh like, "Oh, memory lane. How much I did not miss you."
I have a few minor things I need to attend to, so if you need me, you know where to find me.
Right. I'm just going to sit here and relax for a bit.
Try not to fall asleep.
Oh no, I'm gonna make sure that's gonna happen with my crystal within my crystal dome. No repeat. Once is too many, twice is too much. 3 times, no.
All right.
Have a good one, Sal.
You too.
All right.
And she just slumps just on this onto the log, just relaxing.
All right then. So, does anyone have anything they want to do before they rest for the day?
Yes.
All right. What do you want to do?
I want to also approach Sal.
Sure. She's just
Sounds
by the
popular
wagon.
today.
Yes. She what?
She is just by the wagon as she's rechecking the wheels.
So, how damaged are they?
They're workable. I still need to
Nice.
talk Vellum into getting this thing into a proper workshop at some point, but
Is he stubborn? He seems like he's stubborn.
you have no idea. He is. He has a good heart, he has good intentions, but
But
sometimes he gets his head stuck in places where they shouldn't. So,
do you mean like, and she kind of puts her fist between the spokes of the wheels? Literally, or
mostly figuratively, but on occasion, literal.
great? Okay, well,
But I've seen him deal with things a lot of other men would have probably just laid down and cried about. So,
like what?
I saw him get pinned to a tree by a meat minotaur looking creature by being pierced in the chest with a horn.
All right.
Yeah. How he dealt with it? Well, he broke off the horn, got himself unstuck from the tree, and as far as I recall it, pulled the horn out and then asked to be healed and went about as we were.
She's just gonna kind of lean over to the side, peer over her shoulders, and look towards the inside of the wagon. All right. And is he that stubborn with the kid too?
No.
No.
He is. I don't want to say this as almost an accusatory way, but he is like a different person around her. I swear, if anything happens to her, he would raid heavens above the celestial realms, if so needed.
So, with that said, I'm not one really to judge, but I'm a little curious. You know?
Why he
Do
took
you
her out?
know? Yeah, but not exactly. Or, I guess, what happened to him, you know? With the whole... She kind of gestures over the entirety of her face with her palm.
Oh, the scars?
No, no. Why isn't he like you?
Oh, that is. Okay. In his own words, as far as he's told me, his mother is like him. And I have no idea who his father was. How he exists is beyond me. But there he is.
Does he let it get to him?
Usually
Is it
not.
a sensitive thing?
But it has troubled him as far as I know.
Has or hasn't?
Has, because from where he comes from, it's fairly close to my home in some regard.
So is it
And,
troubling his heart, or is it the world gives him trouble instead?
It's more like he's an oddity. Someone out of place.
According to him, or
Just in
those who
general.
stare?
I'm sure people stare on occasion because I will be real with you. When I first met him and got to know him, I was just wondering if it was a condition of his skin, but it isn't. It's just the way he is. The
She kind of
wildest,
nods quietly for a moment.
the wildest part of it for me is that he seems healthy. No maligned things, no ailments of any sort. If he is what he says he is, which I'm inclined to believe, he is an oddity, a second generation half.
I'm no orc specialist, but I've studied them enough to be able to kill them, and I know that's not really, common thing. I've heard stories, but I haven't seen someone like him. Heard stories, and I haven't seen someone like her. No.
So
I
kind of
guess
shrugs.
things are just as they are. Thanks. I feel a little bit better with him being around the girl now.
He's stubborn. He can be foolish, but if there's one thing he is, it's protective.
Right. So, speaking of protective, we talked a little bit before about something for the kid. He agreed, and, well, he made these. She's gonna reach to her quiver and pull out some undersized, looks to be youth arrows with like these blunted crescent tips.
Those are kind of adorable.
Yeah, I know. Look how small they are. But if you, and she mimics the action, draw back a bow, someone with about her arm span, it should still be about a digit's width further from the span. We wouldn't want it to be too short and risk of shooting herself, but it's just the right size. Blunt as it is, Miss Shot should skip off the ground and or even be able to use cut plants, capture birds. The weight's not far off from what it should be. It's a practice round for sure, but still practical. Pretty well made. I heard you were the person to go to if you needed something a little bit different made.
Oh, I've made a lot of different things. It's always a fun challenge to try something else.
You feel like helping me make something? She's gonna wiggle the undersized arrow for the kid.
I can think of a few ways and a few things.
I was hoping I could run a idea past you. Something a little more traditional in style. Doesn't look like the kid has much from anything back home. Seems like she wants to. I'm really good at using and loosing a bow, but not as practiced when it comes to actually doing the fletchings. Not really my thing, and she kind of shifts her side to show hers, made out of some living material in dragon scales. You might be amazed to hear I didn't make this one. So I'm a little out of my element there. If you aren't too busy and you happen to have a night or two, maybe you could, maybe I could do something to pay you and buy your expertise. I don't really have a lot of coin, but I'm really good at finding things. And I can make rare plants and materials if you need anything for potions, poisons.
We can discuss repayment later. For me, the very act of learning something new is mostly a reward in and of itself. I mean,
Well,
I didn't sneak away from my father for days on end, not to make anything, fun. As she sort of pats the rifle on her back and then the smaller one at her hip.
she's just kind of gonna peer at it a bit. It's pretty impressive. Well, she kind of rubs the back of her neck, trying to break a social tension. I have to make this tea to help me sleep tomorrow, you know. Her head kind of twitches in the direction of the caravan where Dejar was, and then back. You can clearly tell she's lying. She doesn't sleep. Maybe during lunch breaks or the like, you could make some free time and I could show you a design. You like learning, right? This is a new one. Unlike a normal bow, she pats hers. It's one for youth. It actually has two limbs. So a string draws two at once. You can even unhook it and adjust the actual weight of the pole. So it's something that can grow with the new archer. It's pretty cool.
That does sound quite interesting.
So if you have some time and feel like doing something to help the kid, I guess come find me. I don't want to push.
I'll come find you soon enough.
Right. Well, I better get going. It's awfully late and I'm tired, and that branch has my name on it, so I gotta start watch. Oh, you'll hear me if I do.
I'm pretty sure I will.
Yeah.
Go on.
So-
You can just go if you want to. I don't mind.
She's gonna kind of glance down to the wheel again, then over towards the caravan. Yeah. And she's just gonna take a step back, then turn around and leave.
There's just a sort of smile once Theria has turned around.
Very, very awkward.
It's like she has abysmal charisma and
Yeah.
is used to being relatively alone in the woods. Only thing she can talk to is fucking dumb animals.
Yeah.
So that's the extent of her speech.
Sayun is also has terrible charisma. So kindred spirits, I guess.
Yeah, but she's a lot more well practiced at bullshitting. I'm over here like, I don't know how to end this conversation, so bye.
All right.
All right, are you gonna bully me now with the failed wisdom check I had, or?
Yeah, what was that about anyway?
I don't know. I just got asked.
We'll see.
Oh
Oh.
God.
I'm gonna do something here real quick. Just before the first watch happens. Okay, let me check my spells here because I just wanted to be sure.
Got
Yes, I do. I'm going to do Private Sanctum. And I'm just going to do 2 of these.
Private
Which is in
Sanctum
Crete.
or the
I'm doing
the dome.
I'm doing Private Sanctum first
Okay.
on the area of the camp, which is creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. And what else is the other one? Sentries can't created by divination spells can't appear inside the protected area or pass through the barrier.
All right.
Those are the 2 I'm going to do. And before turning in for the night, she's going to do her crystal dome.
You will see a dark dome gradually beginning to appear over the campsite entire.
But everyone can see in here.
The sun, the setting sun is gradually. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, before it gets too late and too dark, Grunker's gonna go out and do some foraging.
Okay.
My
Seeing
man's gonna
how
go
it's been a couple-
fishing.
I mean, if there's a pond there, there's a will.
Yep. Fair enough.
If there's a tiny little pool of water in a leaf, there's a will.
Yep.
If
Sure
there's a
is.
symbol of liquid.
Yep.
Yeah, and your question,
Yes.
like just a theoretical question,
Mhm.
is the size of the pond relative to Grunker? Like, if he somehow got really small, can he fish in it like a small puddle?
I think I don't think so, because you'd still be pulling out a normal sized fish.
True.
So
And then you'll be eaten by the giant fish.
Yeah.
I am the bait.
You probably have to find something
Oh,
that
you-
could reasonably be considered a pond, not like a like a droplet of dew on a leaf. You know.
Fine.
You're not gonna tell me this man can go like deep sea ocean fishing in a tiny ass puddle and get like some fucking algae or like tiny little microbacteria thing?
Nope. Just pull out a marlin.
Not
Nothing but marlin.
as
Just a reef shark.
as funny as that would be, not according to the magic item.
Okay, then I'm gonna throw out a different thing. Because we mentioned deep sea thing. We give Grunker something that makes it so he can breathe underwater. He goes far enough and deep enough down that mineral collections of water will literally form a second ocean under, the regular one.
the
Fish in that.
Oh yeah, the brine ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the cloak elemental rays. I do have underwater breathing.
So
What if you fished in
no.
the air?
so
You
okay.
just
So
went underwater, went upside down.
just
and
to
then
prevent
put
this
your
from
bait through.
derailing, let's bring it back on. Let's bring it on. Let's try to right the train, shall we?
All right. So
Are you railroading this train?
God, I knew that was coming.
we're having a deep RP discussion here, outside of the game. But,
Right. So you're
how many hours do I get to both fish and kind of scrounge around in the jungle
let
for something that's
me-
remotely interesting?
yeah. Let me go ahead and double
Usually it's
check
about
here.
4, right? Because
Uh,
that's, usually it's about 4, right? Because that's what Liska gets whenever she does her gathering.
yeah, you
Beginning
can.
and end of the day.
Yeah, but
That's about right.
normally the fishing itself would take about an hour to do. I would
it's
say
one
the
each.
the three the extra 3 hours for like a total of 4 hours could be like wandering through the jungle trying to find an appropriate place to fish.
Hmm?
It shouldn't be too hard for you. You've got the you are an outlander and you effectively cannot get lost.
That's true. Yeah, Grunker's gonna ignore the pond next to our camp and go the other way.
All right then.
Yes. Right. So
I fished in ponds like this before. Let's go find something unique.
Yeah. Here you go, find something more cool. Oh, yeah, so let's see. So he's gonna. Let's see. So I get 4 hours. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna scavenge for, or like, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
for 2. Fish for 1 hour, and then scavenge on the way back for 1
Okay.
hour.
All right, you head off into the jungle to do a bit of scavenging.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. The first, I'm gonna do some lost loot. Why not?
Okay.
Let's see here. There it is. Let's see. Tension wilds, lost loot. Wow, two
Alright.
two-person tents. Amazing.
You end up finding this this very very old campsite that looks like it's long been abandoned. You do find what looks like the skeletons of 2 people. Looks like they've probably been picked clean by the local wildlife. But the tents here seem to be serviceable. You can easily gather them up.
Yeah, no, I just thought about something.
Mhm.
While doing this, Gronka literally has the fucking wild wastelander from New Vegas. He's just going out and just finding like random fucking references
Yeah.
that nobody else ever get to see, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
Did you find another 2-person tent?
yeah. And he finds like a fucking crash flying apparatus and be like, oh, there's a dead woman there. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gronka goes out, finds plot hooks, and then just walks away. Nobody knows about him.
Yeah, he finds Amelia Earhart and he'll be like, She didn't have anything fun. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like to think that once we realize, oh right, we don't have Angus's tower anymore, Groker just pulls out the tents we're using. It's
Yeah,
like,
that
oh,
fucking-
it's okay, I found these.
Yeah, he just has a fucking tent city in his bag of holding.
All right. So
Right,
you
so that was one.
you kind of push further into the dense underbrush of the Tanzan wilds. You can see the sun setting over the horizon. You see filtering through the trees above just that faintest the faintest shape of the two moons, the mother and the matron, in the sky,
Alright.
filtering through the thick canopy.
So the second, he's gonna gather some fruits and berries because he's getting a little peckish.
All right.
Finds fuck all.
Yeah, the air is just thick and heavy with the rich scent of earth and wet leaves, every breath kind of laced with humidity. Your sharp eyes kind of dart across the forest floor through a number of bushes trying to forage for berries, unfortunately finding little of interest. And kind of just up-
Everything's green.
yeah, and kind of breaking up through the dense foliage, something catches your attention. There is you see a clearing bathed in the eerie sort of starting of the muted light as the sun sets beyond the horizon. It opens just enough to reveal a solitary figure seated in the centre, cross-legged and still. Her back
In
to
the,
you.
in the clearing, you said.
Her back to you, about 60 feet away.
Okay.
The purple fur is familiar. You kind of narrow your gaze. You can see Valdmir sat there in the middle of the clearing. Looks like she's left camp for a bit.
Oh, it's Vladimir. Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of sitting perfectly still, her arms kind of resting loosely on her knees. Her head is bowed.
Now, should I be respectful of her meditation, or should I just barge in and be like, "Oh, hello, Vladimir, what are you doing?"
It's up to you, buddy.
Does your father
Yeah.
know about this?
What
What would Grunka do?
Yeah,
What would
Grunka
Grunka do?
You can actually, but from 60 feet away, you can see she's kind of chanting in a very faint voice, clearly concentrating. The words kind of slip through the air like this soft whispered incantation. And you notice her ear kind of swivels in your direction. She's apparently heard your
yeah.
approach.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily sneaking, so it makes sense.
Yeah. There is a small glance over her shoulder and this is a subtle nod. And a smile. She kind of
I know.
returns to her incantation.
Oh, okay.
She's organising a few small stones on the ground before here in this sort of precise pattern, and she kind of in this hushed tone sort of beckons you forward, kind of points over in the brush beyond her.
It's a bit. Have I ever seen her do this before?
You've not seen her do this before, no.
Okay.
Looks like she's pointing over towards something off in the distance in the brush of the forest. Just the what do you call it? The forest front. Looks like she's seeing something. Seeing something from her angle that you're not.
So I'm just gonna like look in that direction and just gonna like kind of slowly and like a little bit awkwardly kind of walk towards her and like still like kind of looking between her and like that area she's looking in and be like, what's over there? What are you looking at?
You approach, and as you kind of draw closer, she lifts a finger without turning fully, motioning for you to wait for a moment as you get a bit closer,
Alright.
as if she's expecting something from the other side of the clearing.
We're gonna like freeze mid-step, and it's just gonna like, oh. And now you're just gonna wait to see what happens.
Then you feel something. A soft, eerie whisper, barely audible at first, but undeniably there, kind of lingering in the surrounding air, just tugging at the edges of your mind. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. That's not a very jolly forest walking, gathering resources of your genre.
That's not very jolly good of you.
Exactly. Let's see. Wisdom saving throw. Ugh.
Ugh.
That's
Hey,
not
look.
good.
Wisdom saves for everybody
Same
today.
thing.
That's a 2. Well, a 1 because I have a minus.
It was a
1.
2.
It was a 2.
Alright.
Okay.
The whisper is no longer faint, it kind of sinks into your mind like a barbed hook. Subtle but unbreakable. The voice is soft, it resonates with undeniable authority. Hand over that obsidian axe and follow me quietly.
No.
That command is more than a suggestion, as it takes root in your thoughts, twisting through your will like tendrils of magic.
I guess we're just gonna hold out L to, I guess, Vadmir? Or whatever the voice is coming from?
Your hand sort of almost moves like its own accord, reaching back to unsheath Eld. The weight of that obsidian axe feels oddly unfamiliar now, as though it no longer belongs to you. And your grip loosens, the weapon drops from your fingers, kind of landing on the forest floor with a dull thud. And as Vadmir rises to her hooves, she lifts her hands to her head and pulls away some sort of unseen mask. If you would follow me, Grunker. The illusion fades in an instant, rippling away like a veil of mist. Her familiar form dissolves, revealing a different figure standing in her place. Let me go ahead and send you an image. Where is it? Here we go. Oh wait, hang on. For 1 second.
Right.
Aha, here we go.
Right, let's see here. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't think that's Vadmir.
Indeed, the illusion fades in an instant, rippling away like a veil of mist. Her familiar form dissolves, revealing a completely different figure standing in her place. It's a satyr indeed, but not Vadmir. The creature has a wiry frame covered in thick, reddish-pink hair that seems to almost glow in the rays of the beginning moonlight. Her body wrapped in a cloak of dark feather-like leaves. Her horns are dark, gnarled, twisted upward like some sort of wicked crown. Her eyes are pits of glowing red set deep into her face, which is twisted into a smile that seems almost far too wide, showing far too many sharp teeth. Her maroon skin is covered in black veins that almost seem to pulse faintly, as though something darker writhes beneath the surface. There is this aura of twisted joy. Her expression is almost one of amusement, her smile widening as she surveys you. "Thank you, dear," she coos. Her voice is deceptively sweet as she leans down and snatches Eld from the ground, and she carefully slides it into a deep-set bag hanging underneath her cloak. And the bag's interior seems almost far too spacious, dark and seemingly bottomless. "Now, who are you, might I ask, friend?"
Oh, my name is Gromka. I was out, I was out foraging and looking for a place to fish.
Ah, well, I know a very expansive place that you might be able to fish. In fact, perhaps I can show you to some of my friends.
Oh, they like fishing too.
Oh, they very much like a bout of fishing every now and then. Oh, how rude of me. She holds out her hand to shake yours.
Gromka shakes it.
You are considered charmed, by the way.
Yeah. I assume I see her as my bestest friend in the whole world.
Indeed. You are asked by her to follow her quietly and drop the axe.
Yep. Alright.
She kind of gently and dutifully shakes your own hand, and she says, "Nowadays, my new family calls me Briar."
Okay, Raya.
Perhaps we should go meet them.
Okay, it sounds fun.
She beckons you with a playful wave, her red eyes twinkling, and then, without waiting, she kind of skips through. She kind of skips over to a nearby tree, and with a wave of her hand and a clack of her staff, the air shivers and a nearby tree shudders, its bark splitting to open a dark, swirling passage framed by sinewy brambles, writhing slightly as if alive. And she casts a mischievous grin, a mischievous glance back at you. And she beckons you over with a playful wave as she disappears and skips through the opening. Her wild laughter echoing faintly as she vanishes into the dark passage.
Alright, well, we're gonna happily just walk through the portal in the tree.
You feel the entrance close behind you. Let's return back to the group, shall we?
In the woods. This.
It happens. It happens.
No,
Alright,
Jenna's entering sound. Hello, welcome back from the Whisper Room.
Alright.
So,
So
how fucked are you?
who's
I don't like that.
So
Secret
whose watch is it?
You tell
Where
us.
is-
You have the whole watch thing.
Yeah, where's
You
the,
have
the fancy watch
Jenna,
thing? You
where is the fancy watch thing?
Ah,
Yeah, where is it?
You know, the thing you were so excited about that you really wanted to use and I haven't seen yet? I saw it like once. There it is.
Go
I
ahead
am
and-
not supposed to...
go ahead and
That's a
add
window I'm not supposed
yourselves.
to be, is it?
It's-
Watch tracker.
Don't
it
think
is.
we have permissions to view it because it's just an empty squished box for me.
Oh shit! Hang on.
Watch tracker. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Tell you what.
Here's the watch that you
Womp
want
womp.
to track. Grunka ain't coming back.
Turned into a satyr sack.
Damn, that's fucking brutal.
Imagine killing a fucking deepling to like eat them because you're starving and it just turns into a rock and you break your teeth.
Like, ow.
Go
Give
ahead
it to
and
me.
stick it over here.
There it is.
Just
Yeah,
double click
that's
which slot you want to take.
I never remember.
Where is it?
I think
Oh, there it
Grunka was late night because he has the super dark vision.
That's
Spooky.
interesting.
Ooksville.
What's the difference between midnight and late night? Is late night like the deepest night?
Oh yes.
That's like.
I mean, it
3
it
a.m.,
literally tells you
literally
right on top.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
Well, I
two-
didn't know
is-
that. I meant in terms of visibility.
I think it's the
I'm-
darkest
it-
part just before dawn.
I mean, it's all. Yeah, dawn is when you maybe start seeing dim light.
There's twilight and then dawn.
Yep. Just double click the slot you wanna take. Make sure to select your tokens as well.
I think.
I would say you start being able to see again without dark vision at 6.
Okay.
Is
Well,
this
I'll
when the
take.
sun
I'll
actually
probably
rises?
take
This
dawn now
one?
until we get a
Yeah, double click.
sense of things. I don't know why I put it there, but
I'm gonna be bottom. That's all right.
look, I'm a flex. I fill
It's not
whatever
letting
role
me.
is required. Don't be shy, people. Get yourself
It's
on
not
it.
letting me.
I'm trying to remember how we went about things because
It's like 4-hour slots, right?
2 hours.
People
you
are
slots.
awake. People
can
awake
you
for 2
read-
hours or 4 hours.
2,
Okay, so yeah.
because
okay,
you need
that's
to
correct.
at least sleep 6, unless you're a satyr.
Okay, so Vladimir would take up 2, well, 4 of those chunks. Wait,
I
what?
can't do it.
Are you hitting clear instead of claim?
I click it and there's nothing that populates.
You gotta double
It's a
click it.
background piece.
Select
Okay,
your
I am.
select your token
I have.
and double click and hit claim.
I have. There is no box that pop up that says claim.
There we go.
Well, we can't have.
Yeah, what? How is Vladimir
Doubling
at the
up.
start and at the end?
She has a 4-hour sleep or trance period.
I mean, yeah,
oh,
but
so she's up first and then trances and then okay.
Okay. Oh,
But I think the idea was that we had like
why is my name looking this weird?
you've turned
It's-
into code.
It's the apostrophe. That's why.
How dare you, Apollo?
Okay.
the giant person pound except 27er.
So yeah, we want the trances like
Reading
equally
draconic.
spaced out.
I'm deliberately picking this because she's there.
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
Wow,
I'm
it's
confused then. I misinterpreted what the dealio was. For some reason, I thought it was like we're having the trances hit both ends of the night.
She's deliberately doing this because she wants to be around Vadima. And because
fair.
Vadima keeps coming to her. for
So we
questions.
have Dejar, Saoyun, Liska,
Probably Phil.
and
So I think if
Velen.
Liska switches to somewhere else, then they've got 2 people for that watch. We've already got 2 people for the evening watch if Liska can move, because Valmir and Etheria are going to be together apparently. So that frees her up to join a different one. Grunka's going to be on the late night one, but who's going to be on the late night with Grunka? Because I don't think does Liska have dark vision?
Nope.
So
I can
somebody
probably-
with dark vision needs to go to late night with.
I can do
Okay.
that. I can do 2 shifts. I can do
Alright,
it.
Dejar
No, you
at
don't.
27
You don't pull 2
AR.
shifts because you don't know Gunk is missing.
No, we're talking as if in general, like getting the people with dark vision in the late night.
No, I know,
Because-
but that's why I said she'll pull 2 shifts.
Oh, right.
I can't unclaim.
Oh,
Oh, what
Uh,
what I meant was like,
Is it because the party token is here? And I don't know.
hang on.
This isn't working. I can't assign or claim.
I don't
Nothing
get it.
pops
Worked
up.
fine for me.
I was able to claim
I'm-
initially, but
There we go.
I was working on the assumption, even that, I would just do midnight and then late night, and assume Grunk is there.
You,
I
then
mean,
you wouldn't get
I
enough
understand. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to sleep then because
Oh,
you can only be awake 2 hours.
okay,
unless
no.
you're doing like weird coffee shit.
sleep. Okay, so move
was
yourself
gonna-
over
I
to
was-
late night, and then Liska can go to midnight, and then Grunk is in late night with you. And also try double clicking an empty space because that's what I did, and they popped up.
Okay, let me clear this then.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
It's a bit clunky,
I
but this is neat and
I
useful. It
right
allows us
clicked it,
to-
I think.
You gotta left click, double left click.
No, I right clicked to clear it.
Oh, didn't know
I
you could do
did.
that.
I'll just go ahead and... There we go.
Well, this is a lot. It's a lot easier to have a tangible thing in front of you that we can interact with as we would, even if it's a bit clunky.
Yeah, I can't
The
do it at all.
interaction.
We'll figure it out and see if what can be fixed about it. Maybe it's a fluke.
I was gonna take everything from basically 3 a.m. And on, so the final brightest hours, that last hour, and then when things start coming up is when she would begin her trance. So
Oh, okay.
basically, what would it be? 10 up to 3, and then for 3 to 4 and onward.
So you're you're going to sleep on from trance from 3 a.m. onward.
And then
That would be the idea.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that exact, but fill that up real good.
All right. So start with the first watch with Etheria and Vadmir. Vadmir's going to assist you with a perception check.
Got it. And I'm going to be doing my deal.
I love how ominous that blank space is. We know Grunk is supposed to be there, but he's not there. But in character, we don't know that.
And
just operating on assumptions.
Yep, it's so ominous.
Sayun, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Note again. Ooh, that's a nice perception.
Well,
It's not just sight.
hell yeah. Nat 20.
I don't like that our casters are getting focused first. I don't know what these wisdom saves are, but I don't like them. I'm assuming they're bad.
Well, you have to remember we are getting closer.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the fact that only, from what it seems, only Dijar and Thou have had to make these mysterious wisdom saves.
I'm just a cast.
I'm in my dome,
Yep.
flourishing in my dome,
All right.
unbothered.
With a 30, nothing seems out of the ordinary for this first watch. You know that Grunk is out kind of gathering, doing his usual gathering or fishing for the day. So we'll probably come back later to do his watch. Sayun.
Alright.
So fun
A
watching
nat,
everyone
20. I don't
I
like
miss
the
when it
fucking
used to be.
silence.
Oh, it
I remember
speaks
when the
louder
rolls
than
used to be
words.
green. Oh,
It's fine.
where
Everything's
am I?
fine.
Am I where I'm supposed to be on the map? I think I'm supposed to be in the wagon, but I don't have view inside the wagon. Weird.
Alright. A 21 with an at 20. Help me.
Where am I?
Can I do Flash of Genius if I'm technically sleeping?
You are unconscious.
And thus cannot perform actions.
Yeah,
See-
that's kind of.
But that's
Oh, that could be why it didn't work, because it selected you as Angus for some reason.
No, my tokens disappeared.
Oh, okay.
It just
Maybe that's
disappeared
by
off the
design.
map.
That could be by design, so I'm gonna assume.
well.
Hang on.
Honk shoe, me.
There is this sudden, sharp, piercing pain, Sayun, that jolts through your body, wrenching you from your sleep. Your eyes snap open. The world is a blur.
I don't trust this shit.
Your adrenaline surges through your veins, your vision swimming in a haze of disorientation and panic. And before you can react, a gloved hand clamps over your mouth, silencing the scream rising in your throat. You struggle, heart-pounding, eyes darting frantically around the tent, searching for your allies. Or at least the ally next to you. That bedroll is empty, abandoned. And your vision instantly sharpens, adrenaline sharpening your senses to an edge. A shadow looms above you. A slender, lethal figure with a long black ponytail, clad in dark leather armour that seems to meld with the shadows. The air is thick with tension and the scent of blood fills your nostrils. Around the figure you see several small, wickedly curved blades that hover, suspended in the air, as though held by an invisible string. The steel glints coldly in the scant moonlight that filters through the brief opening, the fabric of your tent, the blades almost dancing playfully in the stillness. You try to move, but that pain erupts through your chest. Your breath catches. Your eyes widen in horror. You look down, and the realization sinks in with sickening dread. You can see a long katana, its blade smeared in red, protrudes from your chest. The warmth of your own blood soaking into your clothes, staining your bedroll beneath you. The figure leans in close, and you see a red mask, with a set of cruel horns and a jagged smile filling your vision. A voice, cold and familiar, hisses against your ear. My hunt never ended, Sayun Greymind. Those words are venom, dripping with intent. The world narrows to the masked face above you, the blade in your chest, the throbbing pain that seems to steal the breath from your lungs. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
Oh no! This fucking bitch. Oh, not a good roll to start with. Oh no, she beat you on the tiebreaker.
Well,
Good luck.
my only question is, how much damage did I take initially? Or I should rather ask, how much dream damage have I taken?
Watch this be an elaborate fucking double bluff and it's not a dream.
So,
If it's not a dream, I will shit my pants.
It's not a dream. She took her hand off your mouth.
considering you are surprised,
Oh, fuck.
Ah, the old Wakizashi.
I'm gonna have to tank it because even with shield, its meat beats.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you sleeping in your armor?
You'd be silly not to.
Generally, I don't, because sleeping in your armor is kind of bad practice.
make a con save, please.
It's padded and everything.
All right. The shadowed figure, the Wakizashi, comes barreling down, screaming across your chest with the singing of steel and the splash of blood. And you take 58 points of slashing and poison damage.
I know. Side question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any special rules for taking over half one's max health in one go?
Massive damage rules.
No, we don't use massive damage rules.
Well, I just got hit for like over half, so
It's an assassin that had you at prone
All right.
and essentially helpless
Second attack.
with poison. This is what they're built for.
guess I'll throw up a shield. For some reason, my ring of shielding didn't recharge.
All right. With a 26, that brings your AC to what?
Currently, it does say my AC is 27, but I am, again, not generally sleeping in my armor.
I think if you do edit and then the cogwheel on where your armor would be, you can do it as flat.
Or you can just unequip the armor.
That too.
But if you're not wearing your armor, then that would hit.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and try this again.
I'm just gonna quickly unequip this. That one, yeah. I'm just gonna throw up another shield. No, wait, I can't.
Yep, you've already done your reaction.
Well, shield lasts for.
Yeah, shield lasts a round.
Yep. But without your armor, it'll be how much to hit?
Even with the shield up, it's only 20.
Right, okay. So go ahead and roll the con save.
No, no.
I am afraid of betting that.
Alright, with a 22, you only take 8 plus 8, that'd be, I think that's 16 points of poison, slashing and... Oh, they didn't apply the damage though. Oh, the whole thing with you not having your armor equipped to fuck this all up.
Yeah, I'm gonna assassins.
You still have mage armor.
Okay, there we go. 17 points of slashing and piercing damage. Right, 2 attacks. It's her turn.
Right, I can't even use assassin shit because I used my reaction. How the fuck?
Should be 15.
This is panic in action.
So yeah, it's
You
your
went for
turn.
your reflecting.
What you doing?
How much do we like the stuff in our tents?
It's your tent, not my problem.
Yep.
To say there's nobody else in it. Do what you got.
Do what you gotta do.
Grunka picks up like 5 a day anyway.
All right.
You got spares.
It's not like he's not coming back or something.
Don't you goddamn dare.
I'm playing devil's advocate and being cheeky.
All right. It's called a 3rd level Thunder Wave.
All right.
Good shit.
So let me just. It's one of those things where it does the weird fucking targeting thing. Because I'm trying to make it go directly outward from me, but it keeps saying, you know, a square.
Yeah. So yeah. In that case, just have it.
I mean, just have the targeting thing.
Yeah.
Put the anchor there.
I'm just gonna go like this.
There you go.
Yeet.
All right. So she needs to make a Constitution saving throw. You know what? She's going to actually. Can she use that? Ah, it's an attack. This isn't an attack. Okay. So she's going to use Taoshun Surge.
Oh no.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Does everyone in the camp hear that?
You look around, Saoyun. There is no one else in camp. They are completely
motherfucker.
absent.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Thunder Wave is a 300 feet audible boom.
Blowing the tent apart.
In fact, that's kind of what it does. The massive shockwave kind of you feel that blowback, kind of sending the front half of the tent up in the air. Some of the pegs come loose from the ground.
The thing about Thunder Wave is it's not omnidirectional from me. It's in a point from me and onward.
Yeah, you're just feeling some of the. You're not feeling the full brunt of it. It's just flavour, basically. You're feeling that sort of back wave of sort of thunderous sound.
Be careful with backblast.
I would get the fuck up.
Let her do her thing. We're all excited and eager.
Yep.
That's an action. Bonus action I don't have too many of. And I did not prepare to be assassinated, so...
Well, fool you.
I'm sorry. I am used to having an actual retinue of a party around me.
If you've been stabbed twice in your sleep, you should have learned by now. Sorry.
Yep, you've got your action, you got your movement, and bonus action left.
I used my action to cast Thunder Waves. Bonus and move. Moving is a fool's errand because I'm gonna get stabbed. Janner.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Can I do an investigation to see if this person in front of me actually looks like what I remember the assassin looked like?
You can make an investigation check, sure. 15.
Flash of Genius, that for a 19.
There you go then. So, would that have been your reaction to use the Flash of Genius?
Yep.
Gotcha. Just making sure. The voice is undoubtedly Zaishun's, but the garb is different. That red mask, that red Oni mask, is very new. The entire garb is very new. It's strange. There's something about this which is off.
I'm gonna do something dumb. As Sao is just battling with getting her away and off, she's just gonna narrow her eyes ever so slightly at her and then just, you know, I thought you'd be more willing to show your face again. You're not her, are you?
Just silence.
Huh. Hey, it's my turn.
Alright.
Even still.
Top of the round. Make me a dex save.
Ah!
Something snags against your feet, and you look down to see these barbed, red, thorny protrusions burrowing up from beneath the earth through the floor of your tent, grappling onto your boots. Your movement speed becomes 0 until the start of your next turn. Sorry, until the end of your next turn. Two attacks.
Nah, can you?
Con save, please.
The raw damage would take me down.
There's a hiss from the shadow as she takes her long wakizashi sword, plunges it into your heart, and instead of blood, you feel a cold chill resonate through your chest, and you watch as this strange substance begins to harden around your torso. Something petrifies against your skin. This deep emerald-looking substance that seems as hard as a rock, which eventually crawls up your face, up your neck, up your arms, down your torso. Those thorny red vines continue to trail up your body until darkness takes you. My hunt never ends.
Too bad. You're not here.
You shoot awake, drenched in sweat, cold sweat, as Etheria and Vadmir, their watches end. You both hear Sayun gasping for air in her tent.
Let's go see if she's choking on her tongue. He begins to climb down the tree.
What you do see when you arrive at the tent is Sao sat up with, a hand supporting her, and the other hand is sort of clutching around her mid-chest area, just how you would clutch around a wound. her expression is terrified, but also relieved.
Well, you seem like you're nice and well rested.
There's two tired eyes just looking at Etheria. Just, you could say that. It's been a while since I've had a nightmare.
So you and Scaly over there are having problems now.
An educated guess tells me it's not just us. We're getting closer. It's likely that the reach is getting to us now. I will say though, clever use of my own fears against me.
You kind of pry through your mind about that encounter. Zaishun looked remarkably different from when you last saw her. Which is very strange. If that was purely playing with your already lived experiences, she would have looked identical to when you last saw her. Make me a history check real quick.
History. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit panicked at the moment.
Understandable.
I can't even push it up to like go past 10. Fuck.
Hey. She's gonna kind of squat down. She's not very tall, so she gets really low when she squats, but still, she squats down to where you're laying. Really important that you remember this. Not that you just know it, but that you understand it and feel this. Okay? This is just as much as an inside thing as it is out. If there's something inside you that this little darkness, that's corruption, can snuff out, it'll try and make you blow out your own candle, extinguish the light of your own hope. It plays on your own fears, your own pain.
Yeah, I get that. I will say, I'm gonna beat her ass. On a different note, I have some things I need to look into later, but right now, I need to get ready for a watch, I guess. What time is it?
About time. As she rests a hand over on Vadima's shoulder for you two to switch places.
Is she going to be okay?
Bad
I've had
dreams
worse.
happen to everybody.
I've had worse. I mean, first time I've been stabbed through the heart in a dream, but yeah. At least I had a feeling it was a dream. Something was off about it. Something was not quite right though. Later.
Right.
I'm gonna get up and get ready. Could you go wake up Liska?
Will do. Listen, splash some water on your face. Stay in sight, okay?
Will do.
Stay nearby. I don't want you to mix what's a dream and what's real life. Okay?
Yeah.
What is your next tent over?
Hmm?
I don't know. You go get the big one, alright? I'm gonna
Okay.
stay by you as she gestures to Salyun while you get ready.
I should start sleeping in my armor again.
She's gonna kind of poke you in the sternum.
Hey.
And what would that do for your mind?
Nothing
The
quite
more
yet.
walls you try to put up, the more you acknowledge your fears, the more these things have power over you.
Well, I have a few ideas on how to combat these nightmares, but most of them require time and the resources I don't have. Outside of that, I am smart, but my choice of spells are quite limited. However, I think I know someone who can help us. I discussed a bit with Deshar about trying out one of her spells as an effort to combat her own nightmares. So far, I haven't heard her scream or make a noise. So, either it's working, or they're taking their time with her.
Listen, you seem really smart. So I'm just gonna tell you this. Sometimes the most effective thing isn't a complex solution. The more complex something is, the more readily it has a fault or some place it can fail. There's no magic solution and there's no easy way. It's very uncomfortable. It's very, perhaps, disheartening to hear. It all is here, and she taps the side of her head, and here, as she taps the center of her own chest. It comes from old wounds, the heart and the mind. It only has the power that you give it. You are its own fuel. It either burns the wood of your memories and your pain, or is doused by the fires that you set in yourself to burn first. Burn back with a passion.
I know. No offense, Etheria, but you're starting to sound like one of the old teachers my father brought along.
Well, I don't mean to be a lecturing here, but
No. He was quite fun to talk with once my father walked off.
yeah, well, I can't say I've been told that I'm any fun in a while, but, you know. He's gonna hold out a hand and offer to help her get up.
She'll take it.
Steady now. All
I
right.
am steady. I'm steady.
Gear up for shift.
I am up for it. I mean, not the first time I've been stabbed through the torso, but that's.
Oh, don't tell me you got a tusk in you too.
No, sword through the back
Oh.
up front.
That just means they are too afraid to look you in the face to do it from the front itself. Pats the shoulder. I need to make sure the kid's okay.
You go check on her. I'll
I'll be right back. She's just gonna step out of the tent and walk right over to Liska's.
And in the meantime, Sa will get dressed.
Vadima made it to the tent fine?
You're muted, Jenner. It's not dramatic silence, right?
Oh shit. Yeah, I was muted. Yeah, she's in there. She's
Okay, good.
you notice she was kind of peeking out the tent towards Sayun's tent, just making sure everyone's okay. It was a little bit of a fright for her. You can definitely tell.
Mm-hmm.
But as you approach, kind of dips back into her tent, and you can see her in the corner, kind of scuttling up to cross-legged, about to enter her usual trance.
Liska's there as well.
Give us your watch.
Perfect. She'll come over and just kind of do a little comfort. She'll take out her fancy ocarina, and she's gonna leave it with Fatima. Just here, while you rest your mind and you recover. Know that you're not alone. If you start to feel like anything scary, just play the little song on that. Whatever comes to your heart will be with you, okay?
She gives a quiet nod and takes it, examines it, gives it a little bit of a small tune, maybe a couple notes here
There
and
you
there. All right.
She's just fine. You had a bad dream. We all do. But that doesn't mean you have a bad day.
And there's a slight smile at that as well.
Well, I guess that means we get to go have a good night. And looks up to Liska.
I mean, I guess. Did something happen?
It was a bad dream. Sounds okay, though. She can do her shift just fine. I'll tell you more outside.
Okay.
All right. So for this next watch, from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., go ahead and one of you, of Liska, Sayun, and Etheria, give me a perception check. With advantage. I would assume the other two are helping.
Well, they both get advantage, I think, just normally.
Yeah.
I would.
So
Yeah.
Liska's just gonna
Never mind.
roll. This is doing her thing.
And for it, where's the power? Have special eyes.
Special.
My brain.
Mm-hmm.
Is it plus D4? Oh, okay. There you go.
She shares her special night vision with Liska, who has none.
Very nice.
Is your wisdom modifier just one? Because you can do this to creatures up to your wisdom modifier.
Oh, yeah. Then I will also include you.
Hey.
I'm just gonna redo that without consuming.
Even still, with a 28 on Sayun's part, throughout your 2-hour watch, nothing seems to pique your interest. Everything seems up and up. You hear the various calls of the nightlife out in the deep darks of the wilds. You can see the pearlescent moonlight of the mother and the matron beaming down through the canopy above. You can see Dejar's dome, her prismatic dome, kind of glowing to one side of the camp. You gather she's probably found a way to stave off those nightmares. Other than that, that's about it. You said you wanted to strike some quiet conversation, Etheria.
Oh, yes. I don't have to do it in text if you're not talking.
Oh, if you want to do it now.
Yeah, I'm down to do it if it's okay.
Yeah.
I much prefer to just do it over voice because dyslexic.
Yep, go ahead.
Got it. So with both Liska and Sal that just experienced it there, he's just gonna quietly start. It's her. He's targeting us. I'm not exactly sure the type of magic, but something powerful that taps into your mind when you're asleep. These kinds of things. Just like you're clubby. That's what could happen to you. Pull painful memories. Terrible fears. Worries that make no sense. Or even are completely reasonable. They're things meant to break your hope. Sever you from who you are and what you believe. And that whatever is must be undone for the sake of something new. It's a difficult thing to combat. Like I said, you are as equal parts fuel for her as either the water that extinguishes it or something that you burn back even brighter. How you
Wait, so
go
it's just
about it is
magic,
one
right?
way. It's not just magic, it's something that pulls it. I don't know the word. And in demonic she utters, it is something that twists your soul.
Well, no, I mean, like, the thing she's doing is magic, right? Like, it's a spell.
I'm not entirely sure. It's
Let's
also
get kind of-
something that it
I
can
was gonna say, Liska
affect.
looks around and she's gonna be like, you mentioned someone else is having, like, Dejar, judging by the look of you, it happened to you, but you said someone else is having issues? Sorry, Sal.
Hmm.
Sal, by the looks of you, it happened to you, but you said someone else is having this issue?
The jar was having trouble earlier, from what I could recall.
So
It's
she
been
knows.
a couple days.
Does she know what it is?
I saw when first she pulled that unusual small blade out. It something to your new friend. For a moment there is this flash of color with her. These thorns that overtook her.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't.
I understand that, but Sal did touch and hasn't touched the dagger. I don't think it's associated with that.
I think that's when she saw. I think she was seeing through your friend. When she did whatever she did, she became aware. She placed a mark of some type on her, or at least knew her, influenced, planted a negative seed. I'll be honest, the magic is very complex and in a way that passes over me. I just try and undo it or kill the people that start it.
Well, I mean, if it is magic, like I guess in the morning, it's depending on whether or not we will be able to get a good night's sleep. I mean, even then, it's not like we will die in our sleep, but like we can just have a sit down in discussion. I mean, from what you've said, it's been 3 nights with 2 Dejar and 1 Masao, and they're still alive. I am not worried. But
I suppose.
there's, I mean, it is just something to discuss. Sal,
Hmm?
I can never remember. You are all new magic types. Do you have a means of, like, seeing magic, like detecting magic?
I do have that. It's
Then why
not
not?
something I've prepared for a while.
Hmm.
But in the morning I can have it ready.
I mean, why not if, like, you said it only happens when sleeping, yes? Like she looks to both of them. Then why not? Then maybe that's when it's happening. Like, why not before we all go to sleep? We see who, like, we have detect magic, and if a spell happens, like, I know that Sao and also Dejar is capable of getting rid of magic affecting people. Like, why not do that?
Sometimes
Because,
it's not that simple.
well, I mean, it's like, I guess the question is, because I know Dejar did her big ol' hidden people can't look at this thing, right? So how would this person know when we go to sleep? They probably have to cast the magic beforehand. So if we look to see if it's on us then, we can get rid of it before we go to sleep.
That's a thought.
Maybe.
I'm not sure if it's something that begins to affect us prior, or more that when we fall asleep. When you fall asleep, if your mind enters a place that she can see, it's like maybe walking through a door and you're in a new room. I can't see you through the wall. I can't see you until you cross that door, cross that threshold. Then I can say hello. It could be that too.
A threshold.
I know that Dejar has identified magic, has seen what type of magic has affected people, has the ability to see magic affecting people, and has the ability to get rid of magic that's affecting people. I feel like all of those are very good tools against this threat that seems to happen against us.
They are, but it becomes a question of who has the greater force behind it. An example you would understand in plain terms. I raise my hand and you put your hand against mine. I try and push you. Would I be able to topple you over?
Probably not. You're tiny.
Compared to you, yes, I am. But my point is, we don't have the same level of strength. The same thing is applied by magic. certain spells are of a certain strength where you need to match that in order to counter it. Or at least try and fight it back.
Well, I mean, I've seen both you and Dejar get rid of very powerful magic that you said was placed by someone more powerful than you.
Most of the time that comes from a mixture of luck and clever thinking. The problem we often arise into with something a little more questionable as this, it might be ritual based. And ritual magic is another caliber of its own.
Well, so let me ask you this. Would you rather do this and fail, or just not try at all?
I'd rather do this and fail, because that means I can learn and improve.
See, then I don't know why
haven't
you're
dis-
saying you don't want to do it.
I'm not saying I don't want to do it, I'm saying this is something we should think about and approach with caution.
I am not arguing against caution. In fact, everything I've said has suggested caution.
Right, sorry. Waking up after having been stabbed through the heart is kind of a mind blur.
I understand. It sounds like this is a very unpleasant experience.
Yes.
Hey, on the note of unpleasant, generally speaking, outside of a very unusual circumstance, like back when you were trying to avoid whatever was in the waters and the bogs, it doesn't take more than like 4, maybe 5 hours for the little guy to come back with some weird thing at the end of that magic rod, right? It's been about 7.
No, he takes maybe an hour and then he comes back either with nothing or the weirdest fish you've likely seen.
Right. And he feeds Webby, your little friend. Points to Webby actually there on the log. He hasn't eaten yet.
Wait, who are we talking
He's looking
about?
around. Spider.
No, I know who this spider is. Are you talking about Gronka?
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably around here somewhere. Gronk. Oh, wait, no, he's sleep. Well, I mean, we'll wake him
No,
up for
he
next
isn't.
watch.
He never came back.
I mean, how do you
It's
know?
been...
He's a sneaky
I've
type
been-
of guy.
I've been watching.
I mean,
He went out about 6 or 7 hours ago. It's twice as long. He's normally
this kid's
back.
going to try the earring. Gronka.
There's no response.
Gronka, I'm sorry, I'm probably waking you up. But it's your watch anyway. Still no response?
No response.
This kid's gonna like bring her hand down from her earring, kind of narrow her eyes, and look around. She's gonna look for her Grunka rock, or she's gonna look to her Grunka rock where he would normally be sleeping.
You look to the Gronka Rock. The typical occupant, is not present.
So I was just giving Liske a sort of look and just... Oh no. No, don't tell me.
Damn. Okay. So apparently it is more than just dreams. Liska is going to stand, and she's going to look at Etheria. Etheria, did you see which direction he went?
I did. He's gonna turn back. As she starts making noises towards Webby.
Webby seems to make some noises back. What are you asking him? Or her? You guys have no idea.
I haven't bothered to check. That's
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
priority. Your friend hasn't come back yet.
Oh, no.
Does he normally take this long?
No, he doesn't. I'm a bit worried. I'm kind of hungry.
Looks off to the distance. I remember him going that way. Do you remember which way he went?
Oh, I think he went that way as well. Yeah,
Has he ever gotten lost?
Intelligence of
randomly?
3. I don't think so.
You want to find him?
Yeah, just go find him.
You had to turn back. Yeah. Webby says it's the same way too. He has never gotten lost before. He was worried. Wants to go find him.
Let's see. Vadmia's trancing. Dajar is in her dome, and Vellum is in his cart, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Liska is going to touch the earring, and very gently, so they don't have like a screaming voice in their head, say over the earring to Vellum and Dajar. And I guess it's broadcast because everyone who's wearing an earring is awake right now, or those two. Vellum, Dajar, you need to wake up. There's an emergency.
What?
About 5 seconds later, boom. Door open.
Okay. All
What's
right.
going on? What's the emergency?
You just see a snake just materialize out of the orb. Huh?
Whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa.
Huh?
It appears that Gronka is missing. He never came back from his gathering expedition.
When did he leave?
About 7 hours ago.
All right. I still have this prepared, so I'm gonna try and describe exactly where he's at.
Alright, everyone get ready
Okay.
to move if we need to.
And I bring out the mirror, Jenner,
Okay,
a
then.
little water in there, and Black Cauldron scry this shit.
Alright then. Gronka, make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save.
Wisdom
luck.
is save. Oh
Oh no, it's a
you,
0.
You failed.
Alright.
Time to peer.
Your eyes.
A literal lock.
You look through the surface of the water. Your eyes turn this crystalline white as they sort of roll back into their heads. You disturb the surface of the water, tracing patterns over it in the mirror. And your vision begins to shift. You're in a dark, dank chamber. You see stone walls. You can see these around you. You see this flora, beautiful flora of all types. These red, black, greyish, sort of spined and jagged leaves, twisted vines. You see Gronka. He's sat on some sort of stool of dark bark, like the stool itself has been grown from the trunk of a small tree, or the stump of a small tree. He's sat at a table, and oddly enough, he appears to be drinking some sort of beverage, some sort of is that tea? Some sort of tea. You hear just out of the corner of your vision So, might I ask what your journey has been like so far, dear Grunker?
Oh well, you see, Briar, we went through this, we went through this marsh, right? This undead marsh, which was really horrible.
Oh, the Morbog.
Not
How
really.
delightful.
Yeah, that's what it was called, Morbog. And then, when we got into the jungle and we saw these big lizards, and we went to some places, and we got to this this very, very nice looking city that had a lot of fountains and a lot of people.
Was that
And,
Itzel by any chance?
Oh yeah, well, yeah,
Ah,
that's what it was
I've
called.
never quite been there myself, but I've never quite enjoyed the creature comforts of many civilized settlements myself. I've always preferred the comfort of a grove.
Oh yeah, I think it was a lot of people there, and it was a little bit, I don't really necessarily like to be in big cities myself, but it had some pretty decent fishing places. And then we went. Before that, I think I can't quite remember. It's a little foggy, but I think we went to this big library by the coast.
Ah,
And,
the Library of Quetzali.
yeah.
I've been there
And,
myself, you know.
Oh,
Quite the
yeah,
expansive collection of knowledge.
it was very interesting. Very weird things there, but so there's a lot to read if you like to read.
Oh, I've read plenty. I know my friend likes to do a lot of reading.
Mm-hmm.
As you're focusing on this vision, Tajar, make me a perception check.
Right.
He's very good with it.
Fucking, you know what? I haven't.
Doofy.
Nice. But
Yeah.
so here, I'm looking for my. What? Fate?
Oh, Thread of
Fate?
Fate.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Inspiration.
If you have inspiration, you have a Thread of Fate. Yeah, double check that.
I'm trying to find exactly where the thread of fate is. I can't find it.
Oh, we'll just
No.
say that you use it.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll again. That is
20.
much better.
Okay, so you wouldn't have seen anything untoward or the fort, but with a 20, just on the periphery of your vision, you see some sort of vague shadowed shape, a feminine form, and you see this large mane of hair. The briefest glimpse of this vibrant pink hair. She appears to be cross-legged and is also holding a sort of a teacup woven with dark bark, much like Grunker's holding, and you can see these long twisted horns, wide, almost regal in a way. And you see two pinpoint pink red eyes in the shadows, and that's it.
Does the silhouette remind me of anything of the nightmares I've been having?
No. Not at all.
Or even when I tried to save Clubby?
Nope. This silhouette is completely new to you. You have never seen this before in
All
your
right,
life.
and hey, suspicion at high alert. All right.
So, Grunker, do tell me about this visit to the necropolis.
Oh yeah, with all the dead people. Yeah, so we we spoke to this you see, on our way there we kind of met this this woman with the with some I don't know, she was good at punching stuff and running around and
It's
yeah,
as
special arms.
As Grunker begins to sort of go into this long, this sort of long, very very enthusiastic ramble about the
Both I've ever heard him talk. Like, holy shit.
As he goes into this ramble, the vision begins to fade away from you.
Well, I found him, she says to the group, conversing with a interesting figures. I would almost hazard a guess they either by some of the context clues of what he was saying. And drinking tea, and way more talkative than he normally talks.
Yeah, have a location. Somewhere we can start.
A cave with interesting and strange flora. Almost unworldly flora. That's all I can gather. That.
Alright, everyone stick together. If you find yourself needing to split off, stay in pairs. Etheria, what direction did he go?
It would have been over here.
Briar, if that helps any.
Well, what about him?
Briar.
Yeah, I just heard the name Briar. It rings nothing to me, but it feels like it's rather important to say it.
Well, we don't want to spend any more time talking about it. Let's get moving. Try and find him quick. Keep your eyes out for weird plants and shit.
Head count.
Buddy, you stay with me. If you need to split off, stick with Liska and Etheria.
All right.
What direction did Etheria point again?
She pointed over towards this direction.
Alrighty. Is locked. Oh god, why did you do? I was dragging when you did that.
All right. So
So hold on real quick. So who all is going?
I assume everyone.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
making sure.
Alright, I know I did it in a
Breaking
bit
camp.
of a hurry, but Vellum is in a hurried state. He doesn't want to dawdle on a rescue mission or trying to find a friend.
all right. So you begin to.
No, hold on.
Oh, go.
Just hold on one moment.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't give
It's
anyone a
already-
chance to say things. Go for it.
It's good that we're moving quick, but it's been 7 hours. We need to prepare.
I think I might have an idea. And Sao is rummaging through her various bags for a moment as she pulls out a scroll. Practically none of us can use this spell. However, as she points to Etheria, I believe you might be able to. Your stuff is very
Let's
much
see.
more naturally aligned, yes?
She kind of looks at her cloak of leaved feathers. I don't know what gave you that impression, but I can try.
Alright.
One of the wispy lights of the eye holes goes out for a moment.
Lishar,
Yes.
Did you recognize any of the plants in that little cave? Anything that
Yeah,
stood out as being unique or anything?
No, Kenny, did you recognize any of those plants in the
Um,
cavern?
I mean, you definitely saw them. It was these various sort of variations of dark, sort of blood red and grey, or deep purple, sort of nettles, ivy, various pointed and barbed grasses and thorns.
Seems like a wide and strange variety of say some of the poisonous plants I've picked up. Maybe a few thorns.
Any plant you recognize that we haven't seen here? Because I have a scroll of locate animal or plant here.
You
Kyria
haven't
can cast it.
you haven't seen any plants like the ones you saw in that cave before. But I would imagine you could try to remember what you saw and use that scroll. Let me double check the wording here.
If you can tell Etheria what to locate,
You know what? Let me do a little
Describe
roll
or
here.
name a specific kind of beast or plant.
let me try.
Yeah, make a nature check.
All right. There it is.
26.
Got
Best that you could tell, these plants might have been altered in some way. They might have been some sort of terrestrial plant that has subsequently been changed. And very likely, should you name any of the type of plants that you saw, common plants like stinging nettles, ivy, any of that sort of stuff, that scroll will probably take you to the nearest ivy or stinging nettle or other type of plant.
I did specify any plant she hasn't seen while we've been traveling here.
So yeah, those types of plants in that room you have seen, but clearly they have been warped somehow, changed.
I'm gonna go to do a very long stretch here. Was there anything on the table, tea wise, that's leaves that I could probably pinpoint, probably name off that was strange?
I'll say, for the sake of connecting some information here, using your earlier perception check, make me an investigation.
Adam.
25. You also saw in that vision what looked like large bulbous roots of dark wood, some of them sort of breaking through the stonework.
He mentions as verbatim to Etheria.
Some of them were thorned.
So Etheria, this plant, you know what this plant is? Because I sure don't.
That sounds unpleasantly familiar on a personal level. Channer, I know what that plant is.
From what she's describing here, those seem like tree roots.
Oh.
Somewhere underground.
Oh, fucking no.
An underground cave
Far enough
Yeah,
to be
there-
rooted under a
unusual
tree.
overgrown plants
Is it?
that have obviously been altered.
Oh, is it
I think it's
brain
the
think
tree.
here? I think we got the same thought, Spice. The camp with the dwarven camp with that undergrowth.
I think it's that, or I think they're pretty close to that tree that I described. Either or.
Well,
Fucking.
Let's hope it's the
Or that
former and not the
camp.
latter, because if they're gone all the way to the grove, then that's a problem.
if we
I don't
use
see why they
the-
wouldn't go to the grove.
if
Yeah.
we use the
That would be the
locate,
stronghold.
if we use the locate spell I have, we have 5 miles of distance we could get. So
Also-
if we aim for those dark root things,
Probably might, have a little trail. Another thing that I was gonna bring up is a possibility, considering that we're dealing with some satyrs who know certain magic spells that I do not know. One in particular, they could have traveled through roots to a place very far. I've seen that spell happen before. And if that's the case, a
It could be
search party-
further.
yeah, to a base, and trying to search for him on foot is going to be useless.
Does that type of magic leave a trail that can be tracked?
It does if I can find it soon. It would have almost like a gate in the roots of trees, maybe. Other than that,
Does, well, okay, I guess question how soon is quick? Because Drunka has been gone for 7 hours.
Yanner, quick question. How long ago was that type of spell that traveling through roots cast when we entered that Tarask temple?
You saw what looked like you saw what looked like,
Maybe
the residual leavings of the magic on those large roots.
Yeah, we went right down there and caught him just after he went, so not long at all. So if there's any chance of it, it's gone. With maybe the hope of finding residuals if we're in the area and if you have spell up.
I have I can use identify and detect magic ritually, or I can force cast and identify. So it might have closed up, but I can still find the traces of magic.
Well, until we get close enough to find where they might have done that, we should assume that it's somewhere we can get to.
Well, Drunka is
Unless
not
that
known
scroll of
for.
yours says otherwise.
Well, Drunka is not known for passing through the forest quietly.
He must have left the trail.
Yes, let's see if we can pick up his trail, and then after that, see what he's on.
All right then.
Given
Yeah,
that
scroll.
given that he tends to come back within the hour, especially if they're fishing, I would say that we would not have much trail to track. So let us go. Let's get
On what?
What about this scroll?
Well, let us-
Etheria did talk to Sayun and said, "Hey, little Miss Jade, you said you had a scroll."
Little Miss Jade, huh? Yeah.
You literally have
Yeah.
Jade Dragon iconography on you. Points to your shoulder pads. I mean, I'm not one to talk. Lifts up her own vambrace.
Yeah.
Would you rather I call you Smarty Pants?
Well, let us, in regards to the scroll, let us see if we need to use it first before we do. Because the grove is many, many, many miles away. And if they did the little plant travel thing, it would just be a wasted spell.
Agreed. I wouldn't want to. Oh. I know this. I can do it on my own. Still be useful for conserving energy. Alright.
I've had it for a while. Neither Desharon nor I can use it at the moment, so...
Oh, that reminds me. And then Liska's gonna pull out the Scroll of Haste. Like, here, I found this somewhere, I forgot where, but I think you might enjoy it, use it. I do not know what you magic people do.
I assume this is walk and talk, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So,
starting with that.
go ahead and someone roll me a survival check. To do
I
some
someone who
tracking.
is-
Lead on that if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I couldn't hear what you said. Let's go 8.
Perfect.
What is
She was
what is
just-
your survival?
My survival, let's see, pull that up. +7 base.
Let's go +9. Do you want to aid her and give her guidance?
We could absolutely do that, yeah.
I was gonna have his sunblade out, but on the lowest setting, just so we have some means of light in the one of the darker parts.
Let's see. I don't know how to trade now. It's just been like we've.
Request trade at the bottom left where it says players, then you select the player you want. And you can select from which character.
All right. So yeah, give me a second while I toss this scroll. Boop. Hopefully it works.
Yep.
It's out of my inventory. Cool. All right. Alt for advantage.
And then a D4.
Do you want to roll that, Atlas?
Sure. I'll go for it.
Again, it is Grunko. It's,
Yeah.
it's like a boulder running through going through the undergrowth.
Mm-hmm. So,
I also have
17.
Webby here as well. Oh man, it made me the party instead of me.
I need to remember to equip
Oh.
my armor again. And I'm also gonna Flash of Genius that. So, +4, and I am out.
Blew all your flashes in one night.
Well,
Mostly
actually, that's a
panic.
good question. Can you? You can't flash of genius while you're asleep.
Oh yeah, but did those charges count when she did them in the dream?
nothing counted in the dream. You didn't use any spell slots, you didn't use any Flash of Geniuses because you were asleep.
Oh, sweet.
Yippee! Then I still have like 2, I think.
One for
Have you
each
skipped
titty.
it?
Never mind.
I could.
And
Ooh.
Alright, so
Goodness me.
so it's like Vellum, a friend is missing. What the fuck?
So a total of
That's me saying it.
21. Liska, you begin to weave your way through the underbrush, trying to find out where Grunka might have wandered off to. You do eventually find these small, sort of trudging footprints in the dirt and wet earth from the recent sputtering of a rainfall from the monsoon season. And you begin to follow those through the brush. It's rather difficult to track them, as you have to kind of push away and slice away at various shrubs that are blocking your vision. blocking your way. You begin to track those. You begin to track those footprints until you find what looks like the remnants of an old campsite. A couple of long dead, discarded skeletons, probably picked clean from recent wildlife. You begin
Grunka didn't pay attention to this plot hook. We'll ignore it too.
Yeah.
We got more important things to worry about.
This is just following the tracks that Grunk. Yeah. You begin to wander your way further afield, trudging away by a nearby stream to where it looks like Grunka spent about an hour of time. You begin to weave your way through the jungle some more. A couple of hours have gone by at this point. And you begin to eventually find your way to a clearing of sorts. You can see above you the moonlight of the two moons filters through the canopy, highlighting a small rocky outcropping in the clearing near a small stream. And you follow those tracks towards the centre of that clearing, and then they sort of meander around a bit, and then seem to veer off towards a large nearby tree.
Alright. I guess we'll get to the tree, and at that point... Oh, I guess a secondary question. Once we get to the clearing, do we notice any other interesting tracks?
You do.
Perhaps Satyr Lake?
Indeed, you see what looks like a pair of hoof prints that sort of seem to start at the centre of the clearing. Small hoof prints, which then seem to grow a bit larger. About maybe as big as Etherea's. They seem to meander around a bit, and they seem to wander up to a definite sort of slightly singed indent in the brush. And then those same footprints wander up towards that tree.
If it seems like there's no tracks moving away from the tree, Liz is going to kind of stop and turn around to the rest of the group. It's like, I guess this is the time to see whether or not they used that spell, Lajar, because both of their tracks end here. And by both, it looks like there was perhaps a satyr waiting for him in this clearing, judging by the size of the prints.
Okay. Right, okay then. And she goes up to the tree root and forcibly cast Identify.
Alright. Nothing... So you're going up towards the tree trunk, yeah?
Yes.
Alright. You begin to walk up towards the trunk of the tree. From when you attempted to do this last, you remember first you attempted Detect Magic and then Identify.
All right, no. I reversed. Yeah, let's go in that order. My goodness.
Ritually casting Detect Magic, your eyes filter that same crystalline white that you used to scry upon Grunka with. And indeed you see this distinct, thin line of conjuration magic, this seam of dark red energy that seems to draw from about 6 feet up up the way to the trunk and then down towards the roots in this sort of jagged pattern. And with an identify spell, indeed, this is a transport via plants spell.
Should I just, upon looking at it and then doing identify, just slow returns? Yep, it's transport by plant spell. He's gone. On to their base.
Fuck's sake.
Rope.
There's nothing
You
more we
can't-
can learn here.
Is there... You mentioned, Jenna, there was a singe, right?
A slightly singed indent in the jungle floor. About maybe about like 2-3 feet long.
Is it axe shape?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the singe marks, because
Sure.
that's, a
I'll say
little sus.
perception or investigation.
I'm doing investigation,
Sure.
and I'm gonna use my goggles with it too.
All right.
Vellum will give you light.
On sheet, there we go. Stop. Where you at? Here you go.
28. You wander around this sort of slight indent in the jungle floor where the various grasses and plants have sort of singed. Indeed, it does look axe-shaped. You can see, where Liska's previously pointed out, the two hoof prints have seemingly sort of wandered up to this this imprint and then made their way towards the tree. You can see where it looks like Grunker's footfalls have sort of paused for a moment, and that singed indent is beside it.
Okay, so if you're a smart enough gal, she could probably figure this out. And I still have detect magic up a bit. Was there any signature spells I can detect in the air around here? Indeed.
Hang on. Let me put that on do not disturb.
That's your detect magic.
Yeah.
Pinging magic.
You found something.
You detect the very faintest of remnants of an enchantment spell.
You're just arms just slump and head goes. Her hand just goes to the bridge of her nose. Just okay. So they have essentially mind controlled our friend, made them drop his weapon, took his weapon, and he is, as the humans say, spilling the beans on us.
Right, so they have more information to use against us.
Yes.
Why was he even out here by himself?
He usually goes
Fishing
forward
and
to
gathering, probably.
it. Usually fine. But considering where we're going, it was bound to happen. Saying it was inevitable, but
Right, I don't want anyone off by themselves, not even for a second. That clear?
look here, I understand, Fetus Leader, but you can't prepare for everything.
No, but you can do your best.
That's all we got.
So I was visibly trying to hold back something that looks like a laugh.
Vellum does not
Did
look
you-
pleased. In
You're
any
just-
capacity.
Just
How-
side eyes, Sal, just not saying anything, but
How long were we gone? How long have we been walking?
5. Where's the kid?
You were gone about a good 3 hours. It's quite a long trek. Grunker seems to have. Vapni is with you. He kind of sticks a bit closer to Liska's leg after hearing Vellum say, "No one wander off."
Oh yeah, like
okay.
like before we left, Vellum was like, "Stick near me, and if you need to split off from me for any reason, stick with Liska." Or
Which is exactly why I didn't see her there underneath Liska, so it's like, wait a minute.
Oh right,
that's
I
a
didn't
problem.
even know we were on the map.
Yeah, I am counting.
There's a
It's the
there's a
cloak.
big ol' weird symbol for me on my screen, so I didn't even realize that was me.
You're just a splodge.
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
have Eyes of Night active, by the way.
You do.
Oh, Liska's vanished. No, she's been taken.
Yeah.
We don't have 2 party members taken. That would be ooh, that's not good.
Hey,
Good
Listen,
all.
if anyone gets taken, I want it to be Liska, because she's most likely to kill whoever's on the other side.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, anyway.
Oh no, I am totally mind control and see you as friend. Oh, what's this? Stab you dead.
I stay friends all time.
I mean,
It's how we say hello in Iron Legion.
It's like friends.
I'm going back
It's
in
like
character.
let's spar. It's like, oh, you suck at spar, like my bad. Did not mean to kill. Most of my friends capable of blocking.
Right. If there's nothing else we can learn, we should get back, finish our resting, and head out as soon as we can.
So how long did you say, Jenner? How many hours?
About 3 hours. It looks like Grunker wandered quite far from camp.
Oh, well, by the time we get back, it would be time to head off anyway. No one else is sleeping tonight.
Awesome.
Yep,
Oh,
and then
well.
we'll start making tours back the way they came.
All right.
A very
Unfortunate.
driven determination in his step.
Considering you don't exactly have Grunker with you anymore to sort of lead you back to places you've already visited, I would need someone to make a survival check for this, lest you get
That's fine,
lost.
we got 2 people
Can-
great at that.
I would say, can we not just go back? It's not like we're trying to be
Hide our
super.
trails.
Yeah. Like, can we not just follow our own? Like, Liska follow her own giant hoof prints back?
yeah, I was still wondering about that.
I mean,
if you want to, we
probably
can.
find our way back.
I mean, we are walking around, not in a straight line, in a jungle.
It is
I mean,
deceptively easy to get lost in a jungle. It's not going to be a higher DC. It's not going to be a high DC by any means, because if it's mainly kind of looking out for familiar. There you go, 27, easy. You make your way
Got
back
it.
to camp over the course of the next 3 hours.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
Got him, boys.
Presumably by this point, morning has arrived.
Indeed, you make your way back to camp just as dawn is beginning to break.
Alrighty, as everyone's getting their stuff together, we're gonna squeeze out a quick prayer.
Mhm.
And, yeah, be in a hurry to get moving.
All right. So, considering that long rest has been interrupted, I also ask everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
I never
Ah,
was.
damn it.
It's a DC 10, so I'm sure most of you will probably 11.
The
That's
fact
fine.
that I squeezed by is concerning.
22 saving throw. Yeah, fine. 12.
He just
Yep, you're
mad
good.
I can't.
Sayun
change
just squeezes by.
myself, man.
say I can't fail this check.
Yeah.
Speaking of squeezing by,
I have a question.
Mhm.
Can I just trance in the caravan? And just like
Uh,
we get back. All right, I'm going to bed because
Alright.
I want to be alert for the travel.
Um,
You're probably one of the 2 only people here that can have that option, so go for it.
I will say, considering you are a SAT, it only takes like 4 hours. And you are still kind of
already had a good munch.
you are still following those very incredibly deep set tank tracks left by the steam hammer for the next 4 hours. You could, I'll say you can squeeze out a trance.
Right.
Squeeze out a trance.
I am so pressed.
Yeah, that's pretty much. He's just gonna get back, go into the caravan, and be like, "Listen, all right, I feel myself winning. There's not a whole lot I can do. I'm just drag me along. I'm gonna be inside. I'll let you know when I'm ready to, mimics the bow drawing action."
If you can rest, do so. At least some of us will be more alert and aware, so...
Yeah, just have a seat on one of the beds. The jar is a little niffed at the moment. For 4 fucking days, she has not been able to prepare her spells. And she's absolutely mad.
The one time you can actually sleep.
Actually, with a... Oh no, Deja, you've already cured your exhaustion, so that DC wouldn't have gone up.
That bitch is going to die.
Is it based off of exhaustion, or I thought it was consecutive days spent, not exhaustion?
Each day you spend without sleep, you've got a base DC of 10, and then that goes up by 5 for each day you don't sleep.
So has Dejar's DC gone up? Because the only sleep she's had is a nap, which I don't think counts.
Well, she already cured her exhaustion. So wait.
Yeah, it keeps going. It's
right.
unfortunately cumulative, which is why not sleeping for a long time is really bad.
Right.
Damn it.
Okay.
Fuck me, I guess.
mean, do you have any splashes left?
Hey, can you just
Calm down,
end
Killer.
me now?
So in that case,
Fucking...
you only get 1 point of exhaustion.
My entire
top of
existence.
On top of the previous one you already had.
No, because you already.
Oh yeah, no, she had the
cured it.
potion of vitality, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But then she failed again.
Yeah, so my
So,
existence is nothing but
Back
pain
to
right now. Great.
Back to 1 point of exhaustion.
I have a question on that. At what
Mm-hmm.
point does it make you fall asleep?
I don't
When you
think.
die.
Yeah, I don't think there are mechanics for that.
It's
So,
literally just,
alright.
it's just
So if
usual
you
exhaustion.
fail the Constitution check afterwards of staying up so long, it doesn't make you fall asleep.
Nope.
You just gain exhaustion.
Yep.
Not according to
So
the.
you could keep yourself awake
I've played-
until you die.
I try and play it as if you stay up long enough, you can force your body to stay up long, but your body is gonna naturally want to go to sleep. And I've been playing off that I want to go to sleep.
I mean, people have died not going to sleep, so it's very, it's
Very
it's
true.
pretty on point. So
So
Yeah, I just want to make sure that there isn't like a, oh, if you on day 4 if you fail, this happened. You know.
yeah, there's nothing in the 5e rules that for that. So
What?
over the next few hours of travel, considering what you now know has happened to Grunker, or what you suspect has happened to Grunker, those few hours of travel are they are nerve-wracking. Kind of as your imaginations go, kind of run wild with what is happening to him right now. The wilds are heavy, that scent of damp earth and the constant hum of jungle life. The thick canopy above weaves the sunlight into these faint, flickering beams. The trees eventually begin to thin, revealing this vast open expanse ahead. The air feels cooler here. The constant hum of the wilds is giving way to the rushing sound of water. Powerful and unrelenting as you step forward. The jungle falls away, revealing a massive stone bridge that stretches across the churning rapids of the Tanzin River. The bridge is ancient, its stonework covered in thick moss and creeping vines. From what the rest of you understands, kind of spending time with Angus, it bears the unmistakable marks of Aketeshi architecture. You see intricate carvings line the stone railings, about sort of depictions of serpents, ancient warriors, symbols long forgotten. The ravine itself that the breach spans of plunges about 100 feet. It's about the bridge is incredibly wide, about 45 feet wide, maybe about 150 feet long. And from there, you can see the river stretching out in both directions. And then you hear a sound that cuts through the air. This deep, guttural roar. It sort of reverberates across the gorge. Bear with me, I'm going to leave off on a narrative note here. It's everyone's reaction.
Gonna keep walking.
Okay.
There's a big ass gorge.
Yeah, if the sound's coming from within the gorge, it's beneath us.
No,
It is literally beneath us.
Hang on, I'll go ahead and just
I'm dead tired and I'm sitting in a wagon.
Sitting in a wagon.
Yeah,
Unless
is
we
this
can-
before or
like-
after the 4-hour nap point? Because I am only
this is-
semi-aware.
this
right
is after.
now. Okay. If it's after that point, she's definitely. Well, hey Janner. With my knowledge of plants and beasts, do I recognize one of those calls and what that creature would make?
Sure,
Or
make
what
it.
creature would make that?
Make a nature check.
Perfect, and I believe I get a bonus to this because of my favorite enemy. Advantage. Which, thank God, because I'm not nature. I need nature bonuses, please. 22.
I'm actually surprised you don't have nature skill.
I have it, but I don't have intelligence, which is what it's based off of.
Ah, fuck.
You dumb.
Which is a shame, because druids and rangers and all the nature-y type people use intelligence instead of wisdom, which is the respective skill to even channel that magical power, which is kind of like, huh?
It's
Well,
odd,
at least
but
I
I guess
got
it stops
lucky.
it being wisdom meta.
Well, 22.
All right. There you go.
Let's see here. Oh. She's gonna stick her head out. It's, right on the other side of the gorge, not below us. That's a trick of acoustics. You remember that big white thing? And then she turns to Liska.
Would you like to have to be more specific?
The one with the tiny arms. And the
Oh,
huge
yeah.
fucking head.
Yeah, the what was it called? Tyrant Saurus.
Yeah, I don't. It switches over to demonic. The Lizard King.
Yeah, that one.
Lizard Tyrant.
Tyrant Lizard.
Yeah. It's one of those, and it's
I
big.
like to think that demonic's Latin.
Yeah, me too. It's
Wait,
one of those, and it's big. It's on the trees on the other side of the gorge.
You hear it
Wait,
again.
you mean-
Call.
you're
Is
just-
that a territorial? Is that a mating call? What would I know that call to be?
That seems like an aggressive call.
Yeah, that's an aggressive territorial.
Something to frighten.
It's trying
Oh.
to dissuade something. Maybe us.
You hear
From
it.
entering its territory.
You hear it again. The shifting of trees. The unmistakable sound of branches cracking under tremendous weight. Followed by a series of thundering footfalls.
Is it
It's-
something we're gonna have to go through?
It would.
I'm gonna be on top of the cat. I would not be on the ground.
It would be.
No
Oh, a T-Rex. Oh.
Yeah, she's saying this in demonic to Liska at the moment.
Okay.
But she will say out in common afterwards, you know, it's one of the tyrant kings. Like the white one with the small arms. It's on the
Oh.
other side. It knows we're
Yes,
here
it's-
and it's not happy.
Jerky says, "Oh, a T-Rex." Snowjaw.
I'll say again, do we have to go through it?
Do you want to go around?
Liska's gonna kind of casually look over the edge of the gorge, like, not particularly.
You
I think we're gonna have to go through it.
hear the footfall,
Then we're going through it.
each one closer than the last, sending these small vibrations through the ground.
Vellum hops off the cart. And where's my button for this? Because I remembered this time.
And then from across the gorge, the jungle erupts into motion. Trees shudder violently, branches snapping and tumbling to the ground as if something massive forces its way through the thick foliage. And then, with a sudden burst of speed, a gargantuan form breaks through the tree line. Charging across this ancient stone bridge is a sight both terrifying and familiar. A massive, pale white Tyrannosaurus, its scales gleaming in the dim light. Snowjaw. Creature you've encountered before, her powerful form thundering across the stone bridge with these heavy, rapid footfalls. And she barrels forward.
Oh.
But as she reaches the midpoint of the bridge, she suddenly turns. Her massive head kind of swiveling back towards the jungle as she's emerged from. Her breath comes in these deep, heavy snorts. Her gaze snaps back towards your group. Her powerful tail kind of lashing behind her, and she seems to hesitate for a moment.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Something
Does the
bigger.
T- As I say, yeah, what does the T-Rex run from?
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'm getting pickle vibes here.
She stomps.
Fucking pickle, angry pickle.
She stomps her foot, the massive impact causing loose stones on the otherwise solid stone bridge to rattle and shake. Her massive form lowers slightly. Her stance is defensive as she positions herself between you and the other side of the bridge.
Can I? Okay.
Okay.
I know I made an insight check, but can I? Not theories about these. While
If
this
you
is
want to do
happening,
something,
because-
do.
I was gonna say
Because-
because mine isn't really an action per se. Like, whenever Liska saw like the thing, like coming over, stop, looking over the shoulder, then looking back and kind of taking up a defensive stance. obviously Liska's familiar with defending things, and I know I did an insight check to kind of get a feel for what this creature's doing.
So,
Could I?
Oh, go ahead.
Let's say, could I potentially kind of try to focus some of my connection with Boar to be like, oh, is this
Ah.
a creature trying to protect like young, or trying to, is it necessarily defensive or aggressive? I guess that's what I'm trying to. pull at.
With I'll tell you what. Focusing that
The
connection.
theory did also say this kind of thing was a call meant to ward somebody off too, like an aggressive territory thing. So she already told you what the type of call is in addition. And she just said before this, looks like she's running from something.
You also see Liska with that base 13 insight check. You can see these deep scars and gashes gouged through her hide and scales. With an insight of 13, I'll lower the DC a bit for that because you're invoking Boar. She is running from something, and it looks like she's just been in a fight. And as you're kind of examining this, as Snowjaw stands her ground on the stone bridge, her massive form tense and defensive, another sound arises from the dense jungle behind the gorge. At first it's this sort of low, guttural rumble, growing louder with each passing second.
Lightning monkey.
What is this, Monster Hunter?
And then
You know what? I have the same vibe.
the trees on the far side of the gorge sway violently, their branches snapping and crashing to the jungle floor as something massive forces its way through the dense foliage. As, with alarming speed, 3 massive tyrannosaurs burst from the tree line, loping forward in this disjointed, unnatural sprint. Movements are fast, but there is something unsettling about the way they charge. Their bodies twist and lurch as if struggling to control their own limbs. Their jaws snap at the air as they try to run, letting out these guttural, strangled roars. And they begin to close the distance. Etheria, that requires 10 minutes to do.
Is it, that's if you do the ritual, isn't it?
Nope, it's just 10 minutes by default. Anything with a ritual tag adds another 10 minutes on.
But if you,
Oh
if
no,
it's
no.
something-
Why
Speak
does
with
it say
animals,
one
casting
action?
items, one action.
Oh, action.
Duration of 10.
Yeah.
Right, my
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a ritual.
Alright,
I'm
so
expending my first level spell slot.
okay, so speak with animals. What are you doing? You have like a split couple of seconds.
She takes that massive deep breath. She roars back at it and just says, "Pack leader, they took our young. Is yours safe?"
You just hear this barrage of a.
And
of
she
a,
used thaumaturgy to make her voice 3 times louder.
Okay. You hear this panicked barrage of "Get out of my way!" As she seems to kind of look back over her shoulder towards the 3 other tyrannosaurs and takes a defensive stance. And it's right at that moment you also see, soaring above the canopy from the direction that those 3 disjointed tyrannosaurs came from, a massive eagle soars above and seems to barrel towards your position, seemingly having just seen you.
I am
And
so tempted to javelin that bird out of the air.
I'm tempted to the beast battle with that eagle.
it
Just points up.
it
Again,
lands.
animal speak. Look up.
Well,
It hang on.
I know what I'm shooting at.
It lands
Yeah.
in front of you. Right as those three tyrannosaurs come bursting from the tree line, and it seems to twist and shape into something else. Gab, please
it's
describe
got
your
its
character.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh,
Fucking knew it.
I'm glad I didn't javelin you out of the sky.
Yeah. That would have been not great.
the opposite of good.
Yeah, so she. Ooh. So she comes out of the sky. She lands a little clumsily on the bridge. And she is going to. Yeah, she's gonna like. She's going to land on the bridge. She's gonna turn into her halfling form. And she is going to gonna look towards all of you. It's gonna be like, oh, can you help me? We need to. I've been trying to protect this. This is why I've been trying to protect her for days. We need to kill those fiends, creatures.
That was like got like 6 seconds. This is like moment
Generous
by
6
moment.
seconds.
Yeah. Generous 6 seconds just to introduce the character.
Yeah. No.
And with that, we'll leave it off there, where we roll initiative next session.
Oh yeah.
All right. I will
Well.
stop recording in 3, 2, 1.